No portion of this program may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM BZ Broadcast Group, Incorporated.
Screaming! The biggest names, the best talent. You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Now, is it better to be a screamer or a flamer?
I don't know, you tell me.
Give my queen, God.
Now, 560 WQAM presents the QAM Road Crew. To reach Depot and the rest of the crew, visiting hours are 12 to 3 p.m. on Sunday. For conjugal visits, 4 to 6 p.m. on leap year. Now, here's Depot and the QAM Road Crew.
I'm sorry I can't get to your calls right now. I'm a little busy picking up this trash here on the side of the road.
Who you talking to, Defoe?
Oh, just maintaining a little dignity here.
So, that's what everybody loves about you, Defoe.
Start looking busy. Here comes the screw.
Hey! We ain't running a social club here. Get back to work. Get back to work.
Yes, sir.
You missed the candy wrap over here. You!
Me?
What are you doing standing around for, Hershey Squates?
Well, I am what you
Forget that! You like bits, don't you?
Sure.
Grab that hammer and break those rocks to bits. Go ahead. Start breaking. Start breaking. You, Depot.
Yeah?
Pick up that diaper.
It's got duty in it.
Pick it up.
Yeah, but I didn't...
What? You know,
Right.
it seems what we have here is a failure to communicate.
I saw that too.
Listen up, Depot. Listen up. Yesterday, you may have been a big shot, but today, you're my bitch. Now look up the road.
Okay.
Now look down the road. See any cars coming?
No.
You're a big sports fan, right?
Well, you know,
Good. Here. Have a pink cigar.
Okay.
Hurry. Faster. Faster. Come on. Faster. Yeah.
Oh, by request this morning. How do you like that? Got a request right off the bat. Well, that Defoe was a real...
killer.
Everybody knows that. 10:02 at 560 WQAM. No Joe Rose again this morning. It's either jury duty or he's got a sore throat because he screams too much. He's got some issues, man.
Or he might
come out
be,
and watch that scrimmage. What?
Or he might be suspended. Who knows?
Oh, were they starting that crap again?
That's what Mandich apparently said yesterday.
Suspended for what?
Who knows? It's Joe.
I'm not going to play that game, that sandbox game that we play on the station. I thought we were done with that, speaking of Defoe. I thought that was over back in the days of the worst team, when they'd make up these stories every time. That's the April Fool, don't you get it?
Uh-huh.
Boy, you are really gullible. Is Zach with us or not? Is he still...
He's here. He moved all the stuff in here, and then he left the studio real quick, so I guess he's coming back.
Maybe he's joicing. If
Exactly.
you feel the building shaking and quaking and baking, you'll know. Anyway, Chris, a guy named Chris, listener, requested that bit. He said, this morning Steve Kane told his listener, singular, that he and his family feasted at Pompano on the free pasta and meatballs. Steve was even able to take home a good bag of pasta that he claimed he could feed his family for days. A goodie bag. Also, could you please play the bit with Defoe and the Chain Gang? There you go, Chris, no problem. Well, you must be the listener, Chris.
Oh, yeah, that was probably me.
No, not you, different Chris.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Chris's around, you know.
That's what I hear.
And then here's a very amusing and fake fact. Supposed to be aggravating and annoying, but it turns out to be most amusing. And it's signed Joe Name, Rottenchester, New York. I think you're right. This is from Moe. Thanks a lot, Moe. I'm sure he's listening right now. It says, I was listening to another South Florida station when the host mentioned Mr. Rogers' name, explaining the lingering animosity between him and former QAMer Howard David was that David represented everything Neil wanted to be and was not. Namely, a successful sports play-by-play guy, i.e., a childhood dream. Now it all makes sense. Well, moment, let me tell you this. That's what I really always wanted to be, just like you. Unemployable, always getting canned, no matter where I went. Hated by everybody in the building, no matter which building it was. And all of these things.
All of these things.
Right. And also earning whatever kind of measly paycheck you're making these days. Attaboy, Mo. Good job. Joe Name in Rottenchester, New York. That's what it is, the animosity. What about the animosity between Mo and everybody else in the building? Like Joe Rose, like Mad Dog, like Hank.
Oh, that didn't matter.
Like Zach.
Watch your back.
Like everybody. But I just mentioned that in passing. Mo's in denial. You know, it's me. Max Mosley, president of the Federation Internationale de l'Automobile, FI's governor, was that F1?
Yeah.
What's F1? That's
Formula One racing.
Oh, terminal. F1's governing body is facing intense pressure to resign from his post after being implicated in a Nazi. I think this is another, says the Associated Press contributed to this report. Is this the Emmis or is this another April Fool? Got to be careful now.
I would assume that's probably real.
Max Mosley, you would assume. That's very encouraging. Facing intense pressure to resign from his post after being implicated in a Nazi role-playing orgy, according to a British tabloid, News of the World. The report detailed a 5-hour Nazi-style orgy between Mosley and 5 prostitutes at a house in Chelsea. And it goes on describing the roles they were playing, but at one point during the video, the man yells, "She needs more of the punishment," while brandishing a leather strap over a woman's bottom before striking her with it and counting in German as other women in Nazi-style uniforms look on. The report is even more disturbing because of the fact that his father, Oswald Mosley, was a former British politician who served in Parliament for both the Labour and Conservative parties before WW2. And it goes on with a bunch of crap. I don't think it's for real, but nevertheless. This is for real. A Roman Catholic nun accused of stealing from the Omaha Archdiocese and gambling much of the money away has pleaded guilty to theft. She gambled away the money from the Archdiocese. How do you like that? Maybe she got hooked on bingo. Maybe she was the bitch I saw there at the slots.
Counting?
An attorney says sister Barbara Markey pleaded guilty Monday to theft of more than $1,500. Defense attorney J. William Gallup says she also agreed to pay $125,000 in restitution. Markey faces up to 20 years in prison when she's sentenced in July. Markey is an internationally known speaker. She was fired in 2006 as director of the Archdiocese Family Life Office after an audit found irregularities. The audit found that Markey spent over $307,000 for her own use or without documentation. Prosecutors say Markey used the money to cover gambling forays, gifts, and trips. She liked to plunge her guts out, that's all. She's the gambling nun. You've heard of the singing nun? This is the gambling nun. The singing nun. You leave off the G at the end. Singing. As in screaming. Flaming. Like that. That's a sports thing, on QAM. It's a sports thing. We're singing. And running. We're running fast. 610 votes on today's poll. We better look at yesterday's first, though, wouldn't you think?
Sure, why not?
Think got a shot at 1,000 today or what? We came up short yesterday, even after the show. What former QAM host would you like to see back on WQAM? 924 vote. The Humper wins hands down your pants. 364 votes for the Humper.
That was funny.
39% of all of the votes. Pharrell, 121. None of the above, 117. Moe Howard, David did it. I always admired him so much. I want to be just like him when I grow up. Moe Howard, David did 108. Defo, 92. The Booster, 38. Geldy, 26. Eddie K, 25. You thought Eddie was going to go zooming up there big time.
I thought he would.
But he didn't. Craig Mish, 11. Kenny and Bo, 10. Oh, my God. A morning show from hell. One of the most embarrassing, humiliating, and degrading experiences. And you know who's really a large part of the failure of that thing?
Who?
Is that idiot Toast.
I agree.
He's the one that brought all that crap from across the street with a square table and gay or not gay. He's the one that kind of formatted that piece of dreck.
He also deleted a bunch of drops.
What?
He also deleted a bunch of drops we would always use for years.
Who would use?
Like all different shows, like, drops. You know how the show has drops?
Yeah.
We would have drops for the other shows, just like stupid one-liners. He just basically went in one day and was like, yeah, I'm cleaning everything out, and got rid of stuff.
Oh, that must be it. Joe Costello, 6. Lenny Martez had 4. Hey, Wenny, how are you doing? And Mark Eisenberg finally got a pair. Wow. Better late than never, Mark. They hate you.
I hear Zach voted for him.
Who did?
I voted for Eisenberg.
Did you? Why?
Because I
felt sorry for him?
Yep.
Sympathy vote. Well, welcome to Zach, who's with us, who's down to like 400 pounds now on his new diet. That's good.
$3.99, actually.
How much have you lost? 20-some?
24.5 pounds.
Woo! Man, he's fading into oblivion. Pretty soon it'll be the ghost of Zach.
I hope
Better watch your back, Zach. Now, did you hear that fax about me being jealous of Moe, and that's why there's this animosity? Because he represents what I wanted to be,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Play-by-play guy. Hated by the world, despised and reviled. 617 votes on today's poll. Now, this is, I don't know. I got to stop taking the polls from the listeners, but I got no more of my own. Like one for tomorrow. I'll come up with an oldie. And we sure don't have a pile. Since George pissed off Charlie B. and he disappeared. Isn't that what happened, Chris?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Charlie B. vanished. Hey, listen, it wasn't my fault that he sent a bunch of crappy polls there at the end. He ran out of material and he ran away like a child, like a coward. Oh, here's one. Now, let's see. Regardless of your position on the issue, which of these is most likely to influence your vote for president? Oh, this one's not too bad, right?
Doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, not bad.
It's got the Iraq... What?
It's not that bad, no.
The Iraq War, tax policy, budgetary spending, health care, abortion, gay rights. Then in parentheses it says faggery, misspelled. Welfare, immigration, the space program, God's stuff, education, FCC stuff, gun rights and such, drugs, Cuba, Israel, or foreign policy in general. It's not bad, huh? Boy, I think we may have to discontinue the poll one of these days soon. Although footy's still, he's wrapping up now. He's getting to the finals of his best burger in town contest, you know. He's getting to the finals for the next couple of months. Maybe Footsie's the one that sent that idiotic thing about Moe. Wouldn't surprise me. Hey, Footsie, how's Tootsie, baby? You idiot. Here's the deal. The best days of my sex life are, in the past, 348. Oh, in the distant past for me. In the future, hopefully, 148. In the present, like right this minute, it's great, 96. And I'm asexual, 25. 627 now. Boy, they're coming in big bunches now, in big chunks, so we can make 1,000 today. Won't that be great?
Rectum.
That'll be because Zach is here, not that putz, Josh Cordes.
That's obvious.
Yeah, rip him an ass.
Yeah, why
What's
not?
this fax you're sending me now? Is this another poll?
Oh, you'll like it.
It's from some lawyer in Boca. It says QAM lineup for tomorrow. 6 to 10, DA in for Joe Rose. 2 to 4, DA in for Jax. 4 to 7, DA in for Mad Dog. 10 to 2, DA in for George, who is in for Neil. And 7 to 10, the Beast in for DA. And then it says the biggest names, the brightest talent, WQAM. Oh, and then at the bottom it says it's got that confidentiality notice. It's legally privileged and confidential information only intended for the use of the individual. Well, it's sent to me, okay? That's the way it goes, Nat. From a lawyer in Boca. That's cute. DA in for everybody. Well, he's getting a lot of work these days anyway, the old DA.
Getting a lot of airtime.
I wonder if he knows Hamilton Berger. Remember he was the DA on Perry Mason?
No.
And he smoked all those faggots and he got lung cancer.
This is Hamilton Berger. I don't smoke.
Like that. And then he croaked. 12 minutes after 10 at 560 WQM. Neil's half-price deals are the hit of the town, baby. Everywhere you go, there's shrine about it. Each week we have another offer for you, for all our happy listeners and even the unhappy ones. Starting this Thursday at noon, you'll be able to buy $50 certificates at half price, just $25, to Lucille's American Cafe in Weston. Lucille's is a 1940s style upscale diner that captures the luncheonette feel of that era. It's all about homemade food, huge portions, and family-friendly prices. Menu items include a 12-ounce center-cut New York strip, a pulled pork platter, barbecued baby back ribs, and marinated Texas-style chicken breasts. Plus, they've got phenomenal desserts like homemade bread pudding and their famous Big Split banana split. Big enough to share, but good enough to eat all by yourself, Zach. Lucille's American Cafe, 2250 Weston Road, 954-384-9007. And now, thanks to me, you'll be able to buy $50 certificates at half price, just $25 this Thursday at noon on WQM.com. But be sure and act fast, because like Tommy always loved to say, and he always schmirkled when he said it, act fast, because once they're gone, they're just gone.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
No.
Neil God.
No.
This is the moment we learn something new. Before American Idol, you danced in the nude. You worked at a place that is called Dick's, and you didn't dance for any chicks. Now Seacrest likes you even more.
You fairy.
Performing on Idol was your biggest dream.
Gay.
Danny Noriega's not the only queen. You say that you did it just for cash, showed your junk and shook your ass. Well, you get kicked right out the door. Oh! Because you dance for some gays, you strip yourself down, you sat on some laps and you wiggled around. You hope we wouldn't know, but pictures don't lie. You grabbed at the pole and you went for a ride. You dance for some gays, it's all in the news. You say you love music, but you also love dudes. You dance for some gays. You dance for some gays.
10:18 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. It's April Fool's Day. We're not going to play no April Fool's pranks on this show, okay? That's for children. That's for overgrown children. Oh, but you're a party pooper, Neil. That's all the fun of April 1st is April Fool. And yeah, right. Don't you think it's a little on the childish side? People that pull those pranks like, oh, guess what? The beast is dead or stuff like that.
Is that a prank?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Okay, I'll leave that for Joe if he ever comes back. For a little dog.
If he ever does.
Yeah, now you're his producer, you're his confidant and right-hand and left-hand man. What's the real story there? And don't give me this suspended crap, okay? That's more of that old first team lie, that baloney.
I know that he was sick yesterday, so I'm guessing it was a sick day, but all I heard was that DA was filling in and I didn't get to speak to Joe past about 2 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him on the news.
Oh my God, I think I'm catching whatever he's got.
He's got something.
He's got something, all right. He's illin'. I still think it's from too many live spots. Too much screaming.
I believe that.
He talks a lot about running. I'm talking about screaming. Without the G. Running. He's running fast. A new poll finds a majority of Republicans and Democrats feel Senator Barack Obama would be a tougher candidate against the presumptive old coot John McCain in a potential fall matchup. That old coot. In a Gallup poll released yesterday, 59% of Democratic voters believe Obama's got the best chance of beating McCain. 30%,
About 30, man.
said Swillery was more likely to win a matchup with old, insane McCain. Republicans surveyed said Clinton would be the easiest to beat. 64% said Clinton would make a weaker fall opponent for McCain. Just 22% said Obama would. The discussion of which Democrat stands the strongest against McCain has been an ongoing debate since the Republican race narrowed, leaving McCain as the Republican nominee in waiting. A Gallup poll released last week suggested a majority of Democrats would cast a vote for McCain this fall if the candidate they support doesn't win the Democratic nomination. This is especially true of Clinton supporters, a third of whom said they would vote for McCain if Obama's the Democratic nominee. But in spite of that, Obama does better in the polling against McCain, so figure that out, right? Go figure.
Okay.
Liars figures, how's that go? Figure skaters lie. How's Nancy Kerrigan doing, by the way? And Johnny Harding. 656 votes on our survey. It's not a poll, it's a survey. What's the best burger? Let me say it again about that place. I keep thinking about how awful that place is. So bad, the Grand Lux Cafe. The chowder was excellent, sensational. The water was very good. My Diet Coke was acceptable. But other than that, it blew. In fact, I had a bad dinner here last night with Paco. We went out for dinner. It was sucked. Bad. Really bad. What's the story with that?
Grand Lux?
No, we didn't go to the Grand Lux Cafe. How could we do that?
I don't know.
What are you, some kind of a schmuck? Oh, have you been to Grand Lux?
I have.
And you like it?
I think it's pretty good, yeah.
And you want to know why you like it? Because they give big, huge portions enough for an elephant. That's why you like it.
That's why I love it.
That's the barometer in South Florida. Not is the food really delicious, not is it cooked well, not is it great ingredients, fresh. No, nothing of that. They give you enough for like 4 elephants. That's the barometer. They give you a big portion that they have to throw 90% of it out. That makes it great. That's why people love the Cheesecake Factory and the Grand Lux Cafe. Very bitterly disappointing. Weak. How bad can an omelet be? I keep asking that question. How bad can it be? Now, I'll tell you a place that you'll love, since you weren't with us yesterday, is that Myron's Deli at Pompano Park at the casino there.
Okay.
What? Did Zach expire now or what?
No, I thought that there was more to the story. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. I'm just telling you, it was great. It's named after Myron Cohen, the old Jewish comedian who's been dead 100 years, I guess. And it's inside the casino there at Pompano Park. Don't play the slots there because they're tighter in a drum. They don't. You put in, they don't put out.
How can you tell if the slots are good or not? How do you know? How do you know which place to go to? I'm looking for a good place to win some money. Come me get someone
You're
to call
looking for a
and let me
good
know.
place to win some money, and you want to play the slots, and you think you're going to win some money? Are you an idiot or what? I think you've been hanging around with a little dog too long.
It's possible.
You need to win some money, and you want to go. I'll just tell you this. I was to 2 places. I didn't get to Gulfstream, which I apologize profusely because they invited me for dinner and the whole deal, but it was a Florida Derby weekend, and I'm not that crazy to fight billions of people. That's the one weekend that, I didn't want to be anywhere near there. So I didn't get to check those out, although George rates it very highly, says it's great. And everybody else does, too. Even Cordes and his friends. But of the 2 places I went to Pompano Park, then we went to Hard Rock on Saturday. Hard Rock was great. All the machines, look, you're not going to go anywhere where the machines are just pouring money out.
Darn.
They're not, but like in Vegas, they're not just there to give money away. They're there to take your money as best they can. That's where they make all their mony.
I thought you might have the inside scoop on something.
The inside scoop of the 2 places I went, the Hard Rock was much, much better.
Did you
actually won money there, won a few $100.
Did you eat at the Hard Rock anywhere?
No, but they have lots and lots of restaurants. They got snack bars. They got food all over the damn place. And a much younger and really hot crowd in there. Oh, my God, just unbelievable. Oh, yeah, and there was that chicken game, too. What is it called? Hee-Haw, where I won $1,300 on that baby.
See, that's the inside scoop. I'll play Hee-Haw then.
Yeah, go play Hee-Haw with the chickens, with the 3 screaming chickens. A lot of screamers there. Maybe that's where Joe is today. The Dow's up 220 points. Let's hear it. All right. Here comes the bunny, and there goes your money. Play that market, man. If you're a fool, if you're an idiot. 665 votes on the poll. Chris thinks if we can get like 700 and some by the top of the hour, we can get a shot at 1,000.
Yep.
I don't want to be speaking for you, but, otherwise you just sit there like a lump.
Oh, we'll get 1,000. I'm here today. We'll get 1,000.
Oh, Zach's here today. He says that'll guarantee it. That'll cinch it that we get to 1,000 votes. Speaking of numbers, for that numbers guy out there, maybe you can go to the casino with a quarter slot guy. Maybe we can get a hold of him for you.
I'm in.
Now, you said you've been to, oh, no, that's right. You said you were at the restaurant. I should have known, Grand Lux Cafe. What did you have there that was so good?
They had, before my diet, they had actually like a chicken parm dish that was very good.
You had what?
Chicken parmesan.
Oh, really?
And they had like a roasted chicken dish with vegetables that I eat now. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big chicken guy, so maybe the chicken slots would be good.
Well, that's right. Go play that hee-haw, man. If you get the 3 chickens, then you get 29 free spins. The first one comes up and it goes just like that, and then the second chicken comes up and then the third one, if it does come up for you, which you hope, they go just screaming like the chicken's been shot, like it's been put in a hot pot of boiling water.
Sounds like a Joe Rose live spot.
Yeah. It's not. I'll leave all the lives to him because basically on this show we don't have any because our sales department, they're allergic to this show, especially the sales manager. He's got a Neil Rogers allergy. I don't know what that's all about. But that's going to have to change, if we make that deal that Norma keeps talking about. I had a phone call from Norma yesterday. He claims to be doing something. You can only imagine what he's doing.
Doing what?
I don't know. Fantasy baseball, probably. Fantasy baseball and fantasy runaway hot young guys, something like that. So how about that fax about Moe Howard David? That was very funny, Mo. Very, very amusing. If you'd been that funny on the air, you might still be on. Although I doubt it because everybody hated you like poison. Like poison. Have you ever encountered anybody who was so reviled by so many? Zach?
No.
Am I right?
Yes. There was not a lot of people that worked in the morning here that were...
He couldn't get along with anybody.
Yeah.
Even little Geldy. God, man, did he hate him like, oh, God, poison would be an understatement. If murder would have been legal, I guarantee you Geldy would have blown his brains out. I'm telling you right now, I'm positive. Do you agree? Yes.
Geldy would have bought a gun on day 3.
I can't take it anymore. What am I going to do? He's just impossible. It's just, I can't do it.
The biggest names.
The best times.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 5.
Put him over the edge.
WQAM.
The sports leader.
Push the button, Max.
Shouldn't have drank it. Paranoid.
right.
Drugs in the water. From the drug lab to my house, right through the kitchen sink. I really hope it don't run out, 'cause it's so fun to drink. Drugs in the water. This stuff will get you high. Drugs in the water.
10:33 at 560 WQAM. So here's that schedule that everybody writes it down on their wrist. Jerks show it too. As the Heat lose again by 20 this time, they're doing it, man. They are really doing it.
Why you gotta hate?
Mad Dog 4 to 6:55. Then at 6:55 we cut them off a little bit early because we got UM-FAU baseball. Wow, that should get a phenomenal. And then the DA show, but DA's smart enough to stay away from. You don't want to follow UM baseball, so we got John Linder. Got to be
Correct.
Handling that assignment. The only reason I know that is because I heard DA say it. Because our program director didn't bother sending a revised schedule or sending down a fax saying, oh, by the way, John Linder is going to be on for a DA tonight, or anything like that. But I'm on top of things, baby. I'm right. I got my thumb right in it. Today is April Fool's Day. In a slowed economy, serious politicking and global turbulence may be driving people to seek comic stimulus. Online research into April tomfoolery is up 40% over last year. In the past 7 days, searches have soared 302% for practical jokes as opposed to impractical jokes, 344% for April Fool's jokes, and another 1,564% for April Fool's pranks. It says, this is from, I don't know what's from Yahoo? From Yahoo? Get ready to file the workplace harassment claims. Your sacrosanct place of productivity isn't inviolable. Worker bees are investigating April Fool's office pranks and office pranks. You won't be able to answer a phone call without wondering if you'll hear prank call soundboards. Whatever that means. What does that mean?
They have little little soundboards of maybe a celebrity making fun of you, saying something stupid. And you
really?
Kind of use that as your answers back on a phone call.
In the spirit of public service, beware these April Fools, it warns here. 1, youth means guile. Sweet-faced female preteens prone to uncontrolled giggling should be approached with extreme caution. Uncontrolled giggling. Two, don't trust them when they're older either. Conspiratorial women 35 to 44 make up 1 out of 10 pranksters. However, ladies 45 to 54 are more likely to be into verbal wit than short cheating. 3, biggest gathering of April Fools depends. Folks most into April Fool's Day hail from Wisconsin. Cheeseheads.
Nothing better to do.
However, Pennsylvanians led queries into jokes and pranks. Must be all that pre-primary stress. And media conspiracies. Slate has come out with its April Fool self-defense kit, although searchers have already been checking out Snopes hoaxes to educate themselves. It's just a bunch of stupid crap, okay? It's just a bunch of nonsense. I don't want to be a party pooper any more than usual, but Jesus Christ, get a freaking life, will you?
I have no life.
Oh, April Fool, April Fool. Ha, ha, ha. God, I can't see. One thing I can't handle, silly people. Funny people, I love. I love people with a real sense of humor make you laugh. It's worth $1 billion. But silly people, you know what I mean by that?
Oh, yeah.
Hate silly. What about you, Chris? Are you into silly?
Whatever.
684 votes on the survey. The best days of my sex life are... I apologize for this poll, by the way. It's could be a lot better, couldn't it?
Who made the poll?
I don't know. Some listener sent it in. I found it in my pile. In fact, it's got no name on it. I got it right here.
So is the poll silly or funny?
In fact, it's from somebody at the title company of Brevard County. Is where the return header is on the fax. The title company of Brevard County. Now, what are you asking?
I said, is the poll silly or funny?
No, it's just weak. Weak. There's a difference between silly, funny, and just plain weak. How about if we put on there, is there any other choices we could put on there? The best days of my sex life are... No, I don't think there are any other choices.
Not really.
In the past, 366. In the future, hopefully 152. In the present, as in like right now, it's great, 109. And I'm asexual, 27. I'm Canadian. I'm not too sexual, eh? Now, those Canadians are pretty horny, I'll tell you that. The one thing I found pretty universal no matter where you go in the world, a lot of horny people, thank God. You know what I mean?
Of course.
No matter where you go, that's pretty consistent. It's not like you go to some country and the people are, oh, well, we don't do sex here, you know, just to make a few babies and keep the population alive.
That's boring.
No. What?
That's boring.
That would be boring. Oh, now, we didn't find out yesterday. We were asking whether you live in Dade or Broward.
Me?
Yeah.
I live in Broward.
Broward. See, nobody lives in Dade County except Chris.
Yeah, well, you know.
I know what.
Some of us can't afford to move yet.
Why is that? With the kind of money you're making? I'll tell you what. Zach's going to take you to the Hard Rock and make you some money on the chickens.
I can't wait. We'll go right after the show.
Buck, buck, buck.
Hee-haw. That's the name of the game. There's a whole row of them. Now, they're 5-cent machines.
That's mine.
But if you want to get... What?
5 cents about what I can afford.
No, 5-cent machines, but if you want the maximum credits, if you want to win the big bucks like I did on $1,300, you got to play the maximum, which is 30 times 5, 150.
So $1.50. I'm in.
No, maybe no, that's a 2-cent machine. So it's 150 times 2, so it's $3 a pull.
All right.
Can you handle that?
I think so.
I like $3 pulls.
Yeah, I bet you do.
You play the penny machine?
Let me say it again. The maximum is $3 a pull. What are you talking about? You played a penny machine, you cheap bastard?
I just didn't know that you went, like, slumming.
I like that.
You are such an a-hole, man. It's just, there are no words to describe it.
Well, you always talk about, I get $2.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You must be learning from George.
No.
You have no clue what you're talking about, but you're the expert. That's George's area of expertise.
I never said I was an expert.
Let me say it again. When you play the maximum, you're paying $3 every time you hit the button. Is that something you can afford? Is that like the low balling? $3 a shot?
Once a
what do you want me to play? The $100 slots? Would that make you happy?
Yes.
Schmuck?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, no, it would not be interesting. It would be disaster. It would be foolish. Like at Pompano where I played those $5, those 2 old machines they had there, the Wheel of Fortune. $15 a hit. And they were tighter than a witch's ass, man. They weren't paying a dime.
Ouch.
Nothing. Not even a cherry. Those and I don't know what it is in the. I'm going to have to get over to Gulfstream real soon because they have no real Wheel of Fortune machines at Hard Rock, and the ones at Pompano. Oh my God! They might better instead of having a machine there, just have a hole where you shove your money in it. Just a slot. Just stick your money in here. Nothing's going to happen, but just give us the money. Disgraceful. Not as disgraceful as what they're doing to the horsemen and the racing and the race facility there at Pompano. They're just letting that whole thing go to hell. Nice going there, a la Capri, you lunatics, man, you maniacs.
We should take it over and rejuvenate it.
Yeah, redo it. Bring back the good old days, man. Bring back the dead, Stanley Dancer and Del Miller, all those guys, Billy Houghton. Bring back the great drivers from days gone by. Bring back B. Farber. And Joe Marsh Jr., and Tom Wilburn, and Dick McCumber, Sr.
What about Junior?
You heard me. You better get with it, because you sure don't know you're racing. And neither does Ala Capri, that's obvious. They don't want nothing, they don't care about it. But that's okay, that's the way it goes. It's like everything else. Like here in Ontario, all the tracks have slots. All of them. And not just in Ontario, also out in BC, they got like Fraser Downs. And the purses for the races have gone zooming up as a result of it, and they've done it right, and they've helped racing tremendously, and of course, they also pay out. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, as much as I bitch about Woodbine, you get more action there in 1 hour than you get in 5 years in the slots at Pompano, unless you're just wild blind luck.
And you don't have to pay taxes on your big winnings.
And you don't have to pay taxes no matter how much you win. That's correct. Very good. Very perspicacious, Mr. Chris. With your $8 machine.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
To give Ricky a blow.
In his birthday suit, Santa text to a prostitute, glove on his number one, got some love up all ammunition. His wife looked punched in the gut 'cause her guy Elliot got caught. Horrible thing to see. It reminded me of Jim McGreevy, but not quite. 'Cause we're talking about prose, black and white. Under his big nose, the gunboat sailing up into oblivion. The gunboat better hide all the ammunition and set a course for embarrassment and sexual harassment. Dumb. Not knowing lines were tapped like a bomb. Who had just been zapped? The gun. I hope your wife cuts off your junk.
It's 10:48, 12 minutes before 11 at 560 WQAM. It's a great Tuesday, man. It's April 1st, April Fool's Day, and Moe is coming back today. There's an April Fool for you.
All right.
And Zach is going to sit there and be his sidekick and producer and book some more of those crappy guests they got you canned in the first place. Wasn't that what he was pissed off about?
Yeah, he said I didn't get him enough big-time guests.
Big-name guests.
Yeah, except I would call a lot of people up for him and get a lot of declines.
Click.
Is that what would happen?
Well, remember the first incident with, I guess it was Jimmy Johnson.
Uh-huh.
When I believe he basically brought him on the air and didn't bring him up right away and then just treated him as a normal caller when he brought him up like Jimmy on a mobile.
Wow. Come on.
I'm telling you, and the agent called me back the next day and was like, Jimmy will not come back on that show.
Really?
Yep.
He wasn't treated with proper respect, Jimmy?
Nope.
Well, if it was me, I wouldn't even put him on in the first place, even if I was doing a sports show. Why would I want to talk to that jackass?
Oh, was he the coach back then?
No, he was not.
Oh, he was no longer the coach?
Yeah, see what I mean? He wasn't even the coach. And he did a hell of a job in those 4 years.
Hey, he gave him good defense.
Talked a big game, man. Talked a big game. Talked a lot of crap, Helped to get Shula canned, the brainstem. He helped to get him pushed out. Kept knocking him and ripping him. And then when he had his own chance, man, he blew it. He stunk. In fact, there's been I'll tell you now, I've already forgotten his name, Scam Cameron, from last year.
So quickly we forget.
There have been a succession of losers, the likes of which have seldom been seen, coaching that team. Now, who's the new coach?
Tony Sparano.
Oh, that's right, Tony Soprano, that's right. Now, maybe he can help win some of the games with a little bit of help from his friends, you know what I mean? The Sopranos, they know the right people.
Of course.
Senator Barack Obama's won the overall delegate race in Texas. They finally got the totals in there. Man, this has taken forever. Thanks to a strong showing in Democratic county conventions held over the past weekend. Obama picked up 7 out of 9 outstanding delegates, gave him a total of 99 Texas delegates. Swillery got the other 2, giving her a total of 94. So even though she won the popular vote, he gets 99 delegates, she gets 94. Precinct caucuses began immediately after the polls closed on primary night and quickly devolved into chaos in many parts of the state because of an unprecedented turnout of more than 1 million Democrats. The state party was never able to provide complete results from the caucuses, which is why the AP withheld 9 delegates. The precinct caucuses elected delegates to about 280 county and state Senate district conventions on Saturday. The AP awarded the remaining delegate counts based on results from Saturday's conventions, showing Obama with about 58% of the vote compared to 42% for Swillery. It's so complicated. Nobody can figure it out. And that's the party for you, man. It's both these parties. Although the Republicans, they make it simpler. It's easier to fix that way. But with the Democrats, it's let's have a popular vote, and then let's have a caucus, and let's do this, and let's do something else, and lie about it. 7:15 on our poll, by the way. We got a real shot today at getting that 1,000 votes.
I think so.
And that's because Cordes. Now, Cordes will be back on Friday. Well, Zach's going to be here on Thursday. What's going to happen when they bring in the food?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what? I thought you were on a diet.
As long as it's...
I'm sure they'll bring something in there.
I'm sure they'll bring me something healthy to eat, yes.
Like a nice juicy steak, can you have that?
I can have that, yeah.
Well, we
So
have
this
we have the menu that Duff wants us to look at to suggest some stuff, so...
How about a nice chicken Caesar salad for me?
Okay.
Something like that. That'd be nice.
He was thinking of maybe bringing in a banana split.
How about one of
or
the...
something
Yeah,
like that,
I was just going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. How about one of those big banana splits that they got in the spot?
I could look at it.
What do they call? No, you wouldn't look at it.
I would only look at it.
It's called the Big Split Banana Split. Big enough to share, but good enough to eat all by yourself. That's what it says, Zach.
I'll eat it under the table.
Yeah. Mr. Diet. I wish you all the luck in the world because you need it to stay alive. And I hear Joe ripping the beast an ass all the time and under the guise of, well, we're trying to save him. He's a big fat tub of crap and he's going to die. Just ripping him an ass. See, that just causes fat people. I know fat, believe you me. That causes us to eat more. Frustration eating. Like last night, I had that bad meal at a restaurant that, it keeps getting worse and worse. I don't know why I even go there. I'll never go there again. It sucked.
Until next time.
And so when I came back here after we Paco finished his driving lesson last night, and I went to the little Chinese market and got 2 candy bars. See that? And I'm sick now because of it. I'm not really sick, but I'll pull a Joe Rose. Oh, I'm sick, April Fool. I can't continue. Here's Zach.
All right. Welcome to the Neil Rogers Show.
Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, what's her name? A superdelegate holdout from a traditional swing state, backed fellow freshman Senator Barack Obama yesterday. While Obama rival Senator Swillery began the presidential campaign with a massive advantage in congressional endorsements, Klobuchar's endorsement now gives Obama a 13-11 edge over Clinton among their Democratic Senate colleagues. How do you like that? I believe I have an obligation to try to bring our party together. My nose is running. See, that's because I just sneezed.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Better catch it.
No. I got a hanky here in the drawer for blowing my nose. Oh. Or any other kind of emergency.
Sure.
There you go. Well, no, the good thing is I just took my underwear and my hankies out of the dryer. Did you hear the buzzer go off a little while ago?
No. I did.
I just washed and dried these babies, so I got a brand new hanky there to blow my nose in.
Well,
I think it's something important, but it's not. I believe I have an obligation to try to bring our party together, Klobuchar said, adding that continuing to stay silent will be, in the words of her 12-year-old daughter, awkward, Mom, awkward, bitch. Clinton maintains a 243 to 212 advantage among superdelegates, 800 or so elected officials. Well, we know what they are. But since Super Tuesday on February 5, Obama's added more than twice as many to his total as she has, 106 to 50. Since March 4, the trend is greater than 3-1 for Obama. How do you like that? And then it goes on about Michigan and Florida. You people in the media are crazy people. What is wrong with you people? Don't you understand? Anybody with a half a brain who isn't just a shill for Swillery knows they agreed that those votes weren't going to count. The party said, hey, guess what? If you run your primaries ahead of the dates that we told you, if you try to run them early, we're not going to seat your delegates, period. And everybody said, oh, okay, we won't campaign in those states. Only Swillery showed up in Florida, by the way. And only Swillery and little Dennis Kucinich had their names on the ballot of Democrats in Michigan. Everybody else pulled their names off the ballot. Edwards, Obama, etc. But not Swillery. And now they're saying, oh, well, we want those delegates. Those elections are supposed to count. Right.
Now, the superdelegates can do whatever they want.
That is correct.
That's why. I don't understand.
But,
our
of course,
whole voting system is
the
weird.
so-called conventional wisdom is that they're not going to go against the will of the majority of the voters.
Yeah, okay.
Of the regular delegates, the popular vote and the delegate count.
Then why even have them?
Why have who the hell knows? You're asking me?
Yeah, I know.
To try to confuse the thing, so that all these old trolls like Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale, all these other political hacks, so that they can have a vote in deciding. So that it gives them another chance to, say, screw you, voters. We don't care what you voted for. This is what we're going to do. Because we're big shots. And we know how to lose an election better than anybody else.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
I'm in some trouble and the feds have proof. The wiretapping has exposed the truth. Now I'm so sad they want me to resign. Telling everyone I'm love client number 9.
on.
I used to say that hookers leave you sick.
Hang on.
Now I'm a John and might even do time. My wife and daughters know I'm love client number 9. She came down to Washington to give me some kink. I paid her all the cash and then shot her a wink. An hour at the Mayflower, it's causing a sting. She dropped her clothes, my pants flew off. I didn't think, I didn't care if I was wrong or right. Now I'm screwed because of just one night. My career is gone, I just want to run and hide. 'Cause everyone knows I'm love client number 9.
It's 11:01 at 560 WQAM. April Fool's Day. No fooling on this show, man. We're serious as a heart attack. We're not going to be farting around on this show. Certainly no farts.
No way.
Yeah, that would be a good April Fool to come on and say, we're going to play all the fart sounds all day today.
Hey, no fart sounds anymore.
Ain't no fart sound. I can play a little bit of that. Yeah, just a little. No more. There's no more Karl Rove. What's that thing called? No fart sounds?
Ain't no fart sounds, I think?
No, it's called No Fart Sounds, mister.
Ain't no fart sound
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, that's it. It's about as much as we can play because we've been, we've been trained and cured and horsewhipped and all that other crap. It just ain't what it used to be. That's the whole deal. Just like the business. The business sucks. I was telling that to Norma yesterday. This whole radio thing. It's not what it used to be. You know what I mean by that?
Oh yeah.
All the people with their iPods and with their they got music coming out of their fingers. They got music coming out of their ass.
Rectum.
They got talk shows coming out of their armpits.
Yeah, we're not allowed to play the music out of their ass anymore, though.
Why not? Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Depending on what kind of music it is. Yesterday I should have had this story, but I saved it. Well, I didn't save it, but I didn't find it until yesterday after the show. Because they lied. They lied like crazy about this crap about the Rascal House closing April 7th. Maybe that was an April Fool also, because they closed Sunday night. Now, did Zach ever eat at the Rascal House?
I have, yes.
And?
I liked it.
Hey, have you ever eaten anywhere that you didn't like it? Anywhere?
I don't like any seafood places. I don't.
No, that's because you don't like seafood, but I'm talking about any restaurant that you went to. Have you ever eaten in a restaurant and you didn't like the food?
Probably
ever.
Not. No.
No, see?
Yeah.
This is a guy, all he cares about is food. It doesn't make any difference what it is, whether it's good, whether it's made with quality ingredients, with tender love and care by the chef. It just, just put a bunch of crap in front of him, man. He loves it.
As long as it's a lot of crap, big portion.
Yeah, that's right, like that horrible place, like that Grand Lux Cafe. I'm telling you, man, their appetizers, the soup's good. Everything else, feh. As they say in Tibet, feh. Anyway.
How do you spell that?
F-E-H, exclamation point. Or just like that. Well, a lot of faxes here. This one's a ad fax. Palladium. Let Palladium host your next group event or we can bring the fun to you. Palladium.
Why don't you have your birthday party there?
What?
Why don't you have your next birthday party there?
Birthday party for who? For me? I'm having a birthday party? You mean for Taco Paco?
No, for you. I
don't have birthday parties. When you get to be a doddering old fool, you don't have no birthday party.
Why not?
I didn't even get any balloons from the people there on my birthday, much less any kind of a party.
Maybe they couldn't pass customs.
Hold the schmaltz, it says. This is in the Herald. Death of a deli, Rascal House closing for good. Hold the schmaltz. I wonder what the Goyim thought about that, huh? Just like the Goyim who listen to this show. What are all these Jew words he's talking?
They don't understand.
Too bad. That's our revenge. That's how we get even with all the Goyim. We use words that they don't understand. What's he talking about? It's code, man. It's like a private club. Hold the schmaltz. Another piece of Northeast Dade's fading history is slipping away. That's a great line. Andres Amerikaner. Well, what kind of a fake name is that? Andres Amerikaner? Ich bin ein Berliner? Ich bin ein Amerikaner? What is that? Come on, you fakers at the Herald there. Nothing worse than a fake name.
Oh, God!
Believe me, I know fake names. For a cast of Rascal House regulars, the end will come Sunday night, now when was this written? Oh, this was last Saturday, over the weekend. So we're not too far behind, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah. When the hallowed deli in Sunny Isles Beach closes its doors for good. Gone will be the red vinyl booths, and once they're gone,
they're gone.
The fabled corned beef sandwiches and stuffed cabbage, the cartoonish devil smiling impishly above the tattered green awning. I'm not saying that the food was bad. It was okay. It was edible.
I like the breakfast when they used to bring out a whole bunch of stuff for you before you even ordered. The breads, the dessert, everything in the beginning. It was great. I loved it. I'm going to miss that.
You are such a chazer, man. It's just unbelievable. You really are.
I used to work at the strip club down the street from that. I was a bouncer at the strip club, and I used to go there at 6 o'clock.
What club was that?
The Dollhouse on Sunny Isles. And I used to go from there on Saturday night.
What is that?
What is the Dollhouse, or do you hear a noise?
No, what is that sound?
It's not coming from us.
That's you.
Where the hell's that coming from?
I don't know, I can hear something, but it's not. We're not sending anything to you.
Is something blowing up in here now, or what?
I don't know.
Hold on a second. Let me talk about the Dollhouse, and I'm going to go step around the other side of this counter here and see where that's coming from.
Well, the Dollhouse was in Sunny Isles, and I used to go there after work, Chris. On Saturday nights, I used to work till about 7 a.m., and then on Sunday morning at 7 a.m., after I would get off in my black suit and my black shirt and my black shoes, I'd go and I'd sit and have a bagel at the Rascal House.
So you had to wear a suit?
I wore a black pants, a black suit jacket, a black T-shirt, black shoes, and slick back my hair. I used to come in here Friday mornings to work Joe Rhodes' show when he filled in for Pharrell when Pharrell left.
Oh.
And I used to come in here white as a ghost from being at the strip club from 8 p.m. till 6:30 a.m.
Wow.
And then Joe's show would start at 8.
Now, isn't Sunny Isles kind of like a retirement, old people kind of an area?
Yeah, sort of.
So what kind of clientele were they getting?
Lots. Lots of, younger crowd.
Oh,
there were some older regulars that would come in and would know everybody's name.
Lots of altar cockers.
Yeah, but they knew everyone's name.
I'll tell you what that was.
What was that?
What do you call those things that they're like a power supply? So that when the
your battery backup?
Like that. So I unplugged it, and I plugged it back in, and it stopped with that beep, beep, beep. You could hear it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That was annoying as hell. What the hell's going on here? That must be another April Fool's joke.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, you were working at this strip club. What were you doing there?
I was the bouncer and the door guy. I would check IDs, and then I would walk the ladies at the end of the night to their cars so no weirdos would...
I see.
And
other than you.
Did you ever bounce any of those altar cockers out of there?
I had to bounce a couple of the gentlemen out of the club for acting
Gentlemen?
up. Yeah. I called them gentlemen. Some of them were not. They acted up. They would do something stupid inside the club, and then I would escort them head first out of the door.
Really?
Yep. And we actually had a guy that worked there his name was Mad Dog, which was
there's so many mad dogs and little dogs and big dogs and crazy dogs and all of that.
But that was my spot. After the Saturday night, we'd work till about 6:30 in the morning.
The mad dog or the angry puppy.
Yeah.
And at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd go straight to the Rascal House for breakfast.
See that you can't even keep a straight face when you hear that voice.
I can't.
Seriously.
I don't think anybody can.
You know how much I'm missing the machine
Sense.
here with the Howard David noises on it to the left of me?
Oh yeah, the 360's not there. Is George ever going to bring it back, or is he just going to keep it at home? Maybe
I think he's keeping it at home doing his own show.
Let me see if the light ever came back on that thing that I plugged in. It's a good thing that we don't need that.
I hope so, yeah. Hope you don't snap
Everything
off.
is copacetic. Boy, leave it to me, man. I'm your own engineer.
Absolutely.
You have to be when you work for this joint. Oh, we don't want to pay the engineer to come there again, Neil. You figure it out. Right.
Just plug it back in.
I did. I unplugged it because I could hear it was coming from that thing there, from the computer on the floor or whatever that, I don't know what that thing is.
It's a battery backup is all it is.
Well, it was beeping, baby. Maybe there was a power glitch for a second or two, you think?
Maybe.
No. Anyway, rising in its place of the Rascal House will be an epicure gourmet market, which the restaurant's owners believe will better cater to the residents of the new Northeast Dade, with its luxury hotels and canyons of high-rise condos.
Oi!
I guess this is progress, said 66-year-old Sybil Weinstein, who rides the bus from Miami Beach twice a week for breakfast. That's the way life is, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, did they also bring in, like, the basket of rolls, like the Danish and all the other good stuff
That
at
was
breakfast
my favorite
time?
part, yeah. They bring in all that stuff for you in the morning. You'd have that. I'd order a bagel and an orange juice, and I'd walk out of there with 2 bags full of stuff.
Oh, you're the one.
Oh, I was that guy.
You're the kind of guy that puts all the delis out of business, steals all the bread and the silverware and the sweet and low.
Whatever was for free, I bagged up and left.
The last of the old-school New York-style delis, specializing in hearty Jewish fare, was built by Wolfie Cohen in 1954. A seemingly eternal staple at Collins Avenue and 172nd Street, outliving legendary delis like Pumpernicks, Wolfie's, and Corky's, and the Carnegie Deli, which wasn't around that long. It thrived for decades. Hungry diners lined up around the building. We called Michael Scheck, 69, an Aventura retiree, who first visited the restaurant in 1956 when he was only 17 years old. You couldn't get in, you had to wait, Scheck said. I was told this was the busiest restaurant in the world. You believe that?
It was always busy at 7 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Lots of
busy it was, and for good reason. It wasn't just the oversized portions, the no-nonsense waitresses or the comforting ambiance like the framed poster of Jackie Gleason. The fading black and white photos of the beach and wooden counter where the familiar faces gathered day after day. What most diners yearned for were the heaps of food. See, that's why Zach went there. They gave big, gigantic portions, enough for a small family, enough for a big family. That were handed out with every meal. Rolls, pickles, muffins, and in past years, coffee cakes, and an assortment of pastries including 5 different types of danishes. I'm going to go on about this for hours.
I love it.
Why?
Because I'm going to miss that.
It was a state of mind. The Rascal House was a state of mind.
Well, I was in that state of mind.
You're always in that state of mind.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Wonderful. WQAM 560.
Is this on? Hi, I'm Rose Folger, Program Director for Super Talk. If you're wondering why you can't hear Rick and Suds anymore, well, we decided to buy out the remainder of their contract in order to provide you with more of, well, what we consider to be brilliant feats of radio programming, bringing radio to dizzying heights. And I hope you'll join me in welcoming this latest addition to Super Talk. Thank you.
It's the Skoogans Good Time Hour. And here's your host, Joyce Kaufman.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome to the Skoogans Good Time Hour, where we will buy your calls with such wonderful gifts and prizes you'll thrill with joy. Like this lovely 1989 Mercury Marquis, and it's painted white, which of course everybody knows that makes it cooler. And when I come back, I'll be happy to tell you all about our free coupon giveaway for Dr. Schleuming's House of Enemas.
Boy, those were the days, weren't they? 11:17 at 560 WQAM. Happy April Fool's Day. No fooling around here today, man. We're as serious as a heart attack. And that's what you're going to have if you keep eating all that deli. Let me recommend you very highly, since you asked me where you should go to gamble.
Yeah.
Don't gamble at Pompano in the slots, but go there for a Myron's Deli.
Good stuff.
Great dill pickles. They got the real kosher dills and the best cheese blitzers I ever had in my life, or some of the best. Very good. Great pastrami. What's not to like? Myron's Deli, since you like that kind of stuff. Well, that's why you can't go now.
Well, I can eat some things there, not everything, though.
Like what? What can you eat on this thing you're on?
Basically, chicken, steak. I can eat everything. It's just, the portions. I can't go and have the normal portions I like to eat at restaurants. I have to...
Like the family size.
Yeah, I can't do the for 2 portions anymore.
Anyway, Michael Scheck says, I was told this was the busiest restaurant in the world, meaning the Rascal House. Busy it was. Oh, and it goes on. I read that. Visitors included celebrities like Clark Gable and Judy Garland. And there's those sirens again. Can you hear them? Man, they're wild today. You hear those? The restaurant's work continued through the years. Last January, for example, Rudy Giuliani stopped by for a cup of coffee and some cereal as part of his unsuccessful presidential bid. He didn't learn from Wesley Clark that going to the delis doesn't get the job done. That's what Rudy did. He got a lot of deli, a lot of bad indigestion, and then he dropped out. In 1996, Wolfie Cohen sold this restaurant to the Starkman family, Father Isaac and brothers Guy and Jason, which runs Jerry's Famous Deli. The L.A.-based company was looking to expand after going public, and the Rascal House was a good fit, Jason Starkman said. Now, Jerry's Famous Deli, is that a local or is that in L.A.?
I'm not sure. I think there's a Jerry's Famous Deli at Atlantis in the Bahamas, in the hotel.
Wolfie created something really special here, Starkman said. We never brought this place with that intention to ever shut it down. But things are different now. A combination of changing demographics of the area. Younger residents, more South American and European tourists who look at Delhi and they go, "Feh!" And an upscale development boom in the city and neighboring Aventura started to cut down on demand. Prices climbed and the baskets of pre-baked goods got more meager, said Mika Goldstein, 45, the youngest face among the breakfast crowd. Man, oh man, remembers Goldstein. I wonder if he's kin to, Geldy Goldstein, Micah Goldstein. A children's entertainer from Miami Beach known to the other habitués as Ziggy. That's when you knew the end was coming. What does that mean? In late 2006, the Starkmans revealed a plan to turn the restaurant into a 15-story tower that would include an epicure market, office space, and condos. Since then, the housing market slowdown has forced them to scrap everything but the epicure. Condos are still a possibility down the road. Down the road with a heavy load. That's what I've been told. The restaurant will be gutted, but the Epicure will keep the original kitchen and a few of the beloved recipes. It will also retain 35 of the restaurant's 100 employees who were offered the opportunity to stay with the Epicure or relocate to Jerry's Famous Deli in Miami Beach. There's the answer for you. You haven't been to Jerry's Famous Deli on the beach?
I actually think I was. I'm not sure. I think it's down in South Beach. It's good. It's a very popular, like, deli/restaurant down there in South Beach. I feel like I'm doing a commercial for him.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
No, what I'm doing right now is...
You work with Mr. Live Spot. Do a live spot.
I am staring at the Rascal House menu. I'm looking for it.
Where did you get that?
I saw it online.
Oh, you went online to get it. I thought maybe somebody brought one in, like a souvenir.
No way. I'm staring at it and looking at all the things I used to love to eat. Which is
most of the Rascal House decor will go to the city of Sunny Isles Beach, which has taken to preserving the vestiges of its old identity. Some special requests will be honored, like the group of longtime diners who asked Starkman to carve out their corner booth. Countless groups of friends have met at the restaurant through the years. Sheck, for example, regularly eats with Norman Lipoff, 71 of Coconut Grove, and Kenny Schwartz, 81 of Hollywood.
Oi!
Oh, there are more sirens, man. They're going ape-schmidt. You hear it?
Oh, yeah.
They ride their bicycles and meet at 9:30 a.m. sharp. Lipoff loves the lox, eggs, and onion. Schwartz sticks to the oatmeal. Sheck says he's got a weakness for the cheesecake. It's not going to be easy to replace this, said Lipoff, who's been eating at the restaurant for more than 30...
About 30, man!
Count them, more than 30 years. Since 1954, the restaurant estimates it sold about 60 million meals. Zach didn't have all of them, by the way, including 12 million corned beef sandwiches and 6.7 million pieces of stuffed cabbage. I do like stuffed cabbage if it's good. If it's bad, feh. Prices have kept up, more than kept up with the times. In 1973, a corned beef sandwich was $1.95. Today it costs $14.75. Even so, the restaurant barely breaks even, Starkman said. $14.75 for a corned beef sandwich. How do you like that?
I better come with a small TV with it.
You're in damn, and they're not going to give you any change to go gamble, plunge your guts out at the casino.
Forget it.
The new Epicure will be ready by early September, Starkman said. Parking spots out front will be converted into a patio for outdoor eating with 40 tables. The 25,000-square-foot interior may include a small cafe or breakfast spot sporting the Rascal House name, but certainly not a full-scale restaurant. The company also owns the Wolfies and Pumpernickel brands and may one day reopen one of those delis, he said. Wouldn't that be something? I'd come down for that. Not.
You know you would.
I'd come down to steal a silverware. I'm old enough to do that. Now I'm going to steal all the sweet and low and the silverware and the baskets and the tisket-a-tasket.
And then you get arrested by the Miami police.
Good. The property itself will go through a pause, but the heart will still keep beating, Starkman said. Many lives will be changed by the closing, but perhaps none as much as Lorraine Willows. Willow, 53, is a white-haired, tough-as-nails waitress who has served at the restaurant for 22 years. There's a picture of her with this story in the Herald. With tears in her eyes. She was wiping away tears.
Oh.
She met her husband at the Rascal House. She's memorized everybody's name and preferences. George Melnick. I wonder if she knows the governor's preferences. George Melnick, she said, is not supposed to eat eggs, but he tries to order them every now and then. She knows which of her customers will come on Monday morning, stay home and cook for themselves. But ask her how she feels about the restaurant closing and the regulars moving on, and she's at a loss. Her eyes well up with tears as she covers her face and walks away. Then she's back, composed, and has an answer. They'll still remember me, and that's what counts, she said. Isn't that great? They're still going to remember her.
Oh, yeah.
Lorraine. Well, good luck to you, Lorraine. I don't understand it. I've never been able to understand. Like the Forge. There are places that are a state of mind. The Forge with those microwaved potatoes. Oh, my God. But nevertheless, you know, if you know the right people, if like the other place that I've never been able to understand, I've never eaten there. Is the lobster place there? What the hell is it on the beach?
Joe Stonecrabs?
Joe Stonecrabs. I said lobster. Well, it's a crabby place. That's a good poll question. Would you rather eat in a crappy place or a crabby place where they help us crabby?
Depends on the portions.
That's one of the reasons that a lot of these delis went out of business because, and I always used to say, it's like a chicken and the egg thing. Which came first? Were the people that worked there sour and hostile and nasty first, or did they become that way because of the clientele that created the hostility? I'm sure it was the clientele. Nobody starts out that hostile and,
what do you want from me already? What do you want? I'm getting out of here. I gotta get out of here.
That was a Wolfie's regular man. You see the waitress tear off the apron, heave it back at the counter, and run out the door. I saw that twice over the years.
Maybe it was you.
Years. What?
Maybe it was you.
No, they weren't waiting on me, okay, schmuck. Putz. 26 past 11 at 560 WQAM. Neil's Half Price. That's the wrong spot. Isn't it? Oh, that's the wrong spot. I'm doing the Neil's Half Price deal. Something to keep in mind, though, for Thursday, Lucille's. And I'm sure that Zach will come, even though he's not working. Oh, yeah, you are working Thursday. That's right, like I said.
Specifically asked for
That's
Thursday.
probably why you set that up that way. Cortis, he'll stick his nose in there. He's another real schnorrer.
I'm going to lock the door.
Let me tell you right now about a company I've used in my house for years and years, Alternative Termite Management, or for short, ATM. Their service is special because they can treat your home without tents, so you don't have to vacate and embarrass yourself in front of the whole neighborhood. They're Formosan termite specialists and provide the latest proven, least toxic methods available for termite and pest control. In fact, ATM has just received the Emerald Award for Broward given to environmentally sound businesses that help protect the environment. Call Stephen Page at Alternative Termite Management at 1-800-240-2653 and have them do a free inspection for you. They'll do the job and do it right. I guarantee you that. They also specialize in multi-units and condos. ATM's methods control and prevent reinfestations naturally. Call Alternative Termite Management for proven, safe, cost-effective, and hassle-free termite control. I guarantee, just like me, you'll be happy you made the call. 1-800-240-2653. That's Alternative Termite Management, 1-800-240-2653, or online, just go to termitecompanies.com.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Hello, I'm Sal.
And I'm Harry.
Here to tell you about our special place.
Just a short little drive.
From New York is the Poconos. Let's go.
That's where I wanna go.
To get away from it all.
Where was that?
In the Poconos. Eat your filter fish. I love that stuff.
Play shuffleboard if you wish.
I got a 9. Go for Saturday brunch.
Or pile the food on top of your dish. I hope it's kosher.
In the Poconos, Skytop and Buck Hill, Camelback and Bushkill, Mount Ellie and Shawnee.
There's even Mickey Rooney.
I know. Split Rock and Cresco. Oh, agree, let's go poking in the Poconos. We'll have some lunch and then we'll see a show with Tony Orlando in the Poconos. Get a hot shake time.
You pour the champagne. Sit by the pool and act like a schlub.
Let's get the chicks. You can meet a nice girl
over by the exercise club. Hey, Julie, over here.
In the Poconos, Skytop and Buck Hill, Camelback and Bushkill, Mount Ellie and Shawnee.
Don't forget Mickey Rooney.
Split Rock and Glasgow. Booby, let's go poking in the Poconos. We'll have some lunch and then we'll see a show with Tony Orlando. In the Poconos. Let's go. Did you forget your teeth this
I know.
morning?
I got my teeth in a little bag with the water in there.
11:32 at 560 WQM, and somebody faxes me. It says, "Hey Neil, even the New York Times had an article on the Rascal House this morning." How do you like that? You don't think it's because there's 3 million Jews in New York that they had an article on the Rascal House, do you?
No. Of course not.
A deli destination, now a pastrami-scented memory, is the headline by Damien Cave. Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. Elaine Rothman could hardly believe her eyes. 2 construction workers tearing up. Oh, tearing up, I see. They were tearing and they were tearing. Tearing up one of Rascal House's old red booths. The kitchen of her favorite deli being drilled to pieces. It was almost too much for a not-so-young lady in a hot pink T-shirt to take. People used to come here and have vacations and eat, Mrs. Rothman said, staring at a fresh set of condominium towers across Collins Avenue and 172nd Street. Now it's all big money, honey. You know what I'm talking about? Jason Starkman knew he and his family were the culprits. The rascal, some might say, who decided that after 54 years, Rascal House had to close. And like a patient rabbi, he listened to Mrs. Rothman quietly nodding, smiling, familiar with her complaints. After owning the restaurant for 11 years, he knew that all the kibitzing was just a form of saying goodbye. Goodbye! We love it ourselves, he said. We waited until the last possible moment. As it turns out, Mrs. Rothman's assessment was just about right. The area where Wolfie Cohn opened Rascal House and his other long-gone deli restaurants is indeed a world away from its past. Rascal House's reliable customer base, made up mainly of Jewish New Yorkers who came here for the winter, has been shrinking for decades. Here and in Miami Beach, a few miles south, roughly 2/3 of residents speak a language other than English at home, according to the 2000 census, and the younger newcomers, often from South America and Europe, have proved far less interest in items like pastrami or potato pancakes, latkes as we call them in Tibet. How do you like that? See, just like the original Famous on the South Beach. Same thing. Oh, now it's a Cuban deli. It's a Cuban, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. What are you saying?
Wouldn't you think the Cubans would like deli if they had any good taste? Come on now, all you Julios. Now, what would you rather have, a medianoche or a nice pastrami and corned beef sandwich?
Potato pancake.
Yeah, potato latkes, right.
With some applesauce.
Or sour cream. Stir in a shrinking economy and you have what Mr. Starkman calls a need for newer stuff. He said he plans to open a second branch of Epicure, a gourmet market, we know that, by September. Mrs. Rothman seems unimpressed. Epicure, I love the food, don't get me wrong, she said, but this place, you can't replace it. Oy vey. On Sunday night, the final corned beef rolled out of the Rascal House kitchen. The Last Supper, as some patrons called it, brought a burst of lines and long waits reminiscent of the restaurant's heyday. Yeah, when you stood online, did they used to bring you out the dill pickles while you were waiting online?
I never really stayed in line. I was always there too early.
Monday felt more like a funeral, it says. Mrs. Rothman was one of dozens who stopped by to stare in the windows through cupped hands or buy some small piece of the restaurant they loved. Demolition had begun. The city had selected a booth and decorations to keep for posterity. Half a dozen workers moved furniture, cut through equipment, and discussed who would get the TVs. The red counter stools were empty. Wide plastic menus sold for $25 each. See, we could have had a real menu, not just online. For $25, Chris could afford that.
Yeah, maybe.
Platters, once full of food, cost $5. Empty platters. Remember the platters with Tony Williams?
Oh, yeah.
The restaurant's more famous items were priced like antiques. That large photo of Jackie Gleason, young, arms wide, smiling on Miami Beach, it cost $2,500 according to the tag. The restaurant's interior signs with the Rascal logo ran too high for Mrs. Rothman's budget at $5,000 apiece. She said she hoped to pay $500. You should live so long, honey. Ken Joy, 70, a law professor in Buffalo who always ordered the corned beef, said he was deciding whether to buy a board with a Damon Runyon quotation. As I see it, there are 2 kinds of people in this world, people who love delis and people you shouldn't associate with. It was $250 even though the it had fallen off. Watch it when the it hits the fan, baby. This was the place that as soon as we got off the plane, we'd come here, Mr. Joy said. I probably ate here 3 times in the last 4 days. His face was sunburned. He was carrying a black and white plastic sign for parties of 2, harking back to a time when waits for a table could last hours. At $50, he figured it was a good deal. Such a deal! His wife, Rita, 71, had already bought a few pictures and several platters. She said they would give many of the items to their son or other relatives. That seemed to be the trend. Those who came back on Monday seemed to be searching for more than knickknacks. Many were buying for relatives parts of fond Rascal House memories, long dinners, countless cups of coffee, the buzz of a restaurant that smells awake and alive at sunup. Mrs. Rothman, who was buying for her brother-in-law, Richie Weinstein, remembered happily waiting more than an hour for her party of 10 relatives to be seated. Mrs. Joyce said there were too many memories to count. To me, it's saying goodbye to my parents and my uncle's generation, she said. They're the ones who brought us here. And on Monday, there seemed to be no going back. Mr. Starkman said he would recreate some Rascal House items at the gourmet market, but that the local palate had to move on. They had moved on, whatever that means, moveon.org. Indeed, at one point, a man in a flowered shirt asked Mr. Starkman a simple question. So is there any place to get something to eat around here? Mr. Starkman smiled and asked, you like Peruvian food? Schmendrick, you like Peruvian food? What is that? What is Peruvian food?
Don't really know, personally.
Zach?
Can't answer that question either. Surprising, but I can't answer.
And I didn't even know that there was such a thing. I mean, obviously every country's got its local cuisine, but Peruvian food? Would it be different from like Paraguayan food or like Guatemalan or Nicaraguan or like that?
I guess they have some of their own specific delicacies.
Yeah, right. Like lima beans.
Mm-hmm.
There's Swillery. She's stumping in Philadelphia.
Look, I know there will be hurdles and setbacks between now and November.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Give up the ghost, honey. It's all over. Get the message already. You're a little slow on the uptake. And tell your husband we used to like him a lot. Used to. 770 votes on the survey. The best days of my sex life are. We got to get over 800 by the top of the hour. It's not going to happen. You're not going to make your 1,000. I'm telling you right now.
It's going to happen. Don't worry.
I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. Am I right, Chris? It's not going to happen unless we get well over 800 by the top of the hour, which means
we're going to do it.
30 votes in 21 minutes. You should live so long you're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
There's a better chance of the Rascal House reopening and catering a special meal for you guys than there is of us getting 1,000 votes on the survey. And it's not even a poll. It's just a freaking survey.
Oh, didn't you hear?
What?
They're coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Zach better not be hopping up a lot of chazarai on Thursday. Let me tell you right now. You better stick to your thing.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
Maybe that guy will bring the guy from the Balance for Life guy will bring in some more baba ganoush. The best days of my sex life are in the past, 431. You better believe that. Unless there's a big surprise waiting, or even like a medium-sized surprise would be good. In the future, hopefully, 187. In the present, like right this minute, and it's great, 121. And I'm asexual, 31. In other words, forget about it.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
Shut up.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Anybody have a heart or a liver?
Why open it with that?
That, because it's funny. It makes it sound like we do the show in front of a live audience, like funny, and it's like real, like Joey Reynolds like stuff.
Well, I didn't say nothing to you.
Yet.
Everybody's out sick today.
Today, Neil is sick.
He's not sick. He's in Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah, that's sick.
You messing with God.
God.
Time for my log. No, man, I'm not those drugs. You guys, I'm a little bit more downbeat, sad. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Better. What are you sad about?
We don't wrap my entire show around the heat. I mean, let's face it, they suck.
Suck.
All I got left to talk about is a little bit of the stats now.
Stats. Well, if it makes you feel any better, heat spelled sideways is hate.
Can I tell you something?
Something. What?
I don't even like basketball.
Basketball.
Is that a monster?
Monster.
That'd be a monster.
Hey, if you like that, you'll hear lots more of that between 2 and 4 this afternoon, unless they're making the change already that Zach keeps rumoring around the building.
What rumor is that?
The rumor about the new 2 to 4 host, whoever that might be.
Oh.
Well, you must have some scuttlebutt. You keep your ear to the grindstone.
I try not to.
Yeah, you do. Come on, let's hear it.
I got nothing for you.
You don't hear anything
Joe was
about
out
that?
Today. Joe was out today.
Joe was out today. Well, that's unusual. Authorities in Tampa are working to keep traffic moving as dozens of truckers lined up to protest the rising cost of fuel. Thanks a lot, Mr. President, for those low gas prices and for that great American dollar and for the swell economy and for the depression and all the dead people and all the butchered soldiers. Police said they're working to keep traffic moving near the port of Tampa where the big rigs are gathered. It's all happening along 22nd Street near the causeway at McKay Bay. Oh, look at that. The Dow is up 252 points. Hallelujah! Happy days are here again. Where's Herbert Hoover when we need him bad?
Who?
Hubert Hoover.
Huh?
Diesel prices are nearing $4 a gallon, which is putting the squeeze on truck drivers. They said they're fed up on Monday and plan to fight back. Independent trucker Rui Oliveira said he's worried about the high price of diesel, that it may run him out of business. If it goes up another 50 cents a gallon, I'll have to park. I'll have no choice, he said. I don't work for free. I'll go find a janitorial job for a little bit. He'll go scrub toilets before paying that kind of price to drive. After 11 years behind the wheel, it's the first time he's considered stopping. If there's a strike, I'll have to honor it, obviously, he said. If we don't stick together, it's getting harder and harder, he said. Diesel prices are hovering around $4 a gallon, forcing truckers to spend $600 to $700 or more to fill up one tank. How do you like that?
Not good.
It's hurting a lot of companies. People are struggling. You hear them talking on the radio. Not just trucking. Everybody's feeling the pinch, trucker Wayne Calvert said. Thank you, Mr. President, for those low gas prices. You bastard, you butcher, you murderer, you lunatic. Many drivers said they believe the strike will happen. It has to. The guys, the owner-operators, I know they can't afford to keep running like this. It's killing them, Calvert said. Others, like 35-year veteran Gary Birch, disagree. Since the one in the early 70s until now, every time they threaten to shut down, it never works, he said. The strike was slated to begin at midnight Monday, run through April 5. Truckers promised it would make an impact. As part of the planned protest, truckers said they plan to either park their rigs, go 45 miles an hour on highways, or post protest signs on their trucks. There are no reports of traffic trouble spots around Orlando this morning so far. But you never know. Yeah, that really does it when they have those convoys and they slow down to like 40 miles an hour on a highway just to piss everybody else off. Why take it out on the rest of the people and waste so they can waste more of their gas? While they're sitting there all lined up, getting all burned up and pissed off. What's the point of that? Taking it out on poor Joe Schmuck out there, right?
Exactly.
Yep. Like that's going to change something? Like Bush and his Saudi buddies are going to all of a sudden say, oh, we'll drop it to $3.75. Is that any better? Can you get it up to 50? Yeah, $50 a gallon. That's what's coming. Thank you so much, Mr. Presidente, you lunatic. Let's take a look and see how that dollar is doing. Luckily for me, look at that oil. What a bargain. Only 101.19. 101.21 cents.
All right.
$101 a barrel, baby. Let's go out and roll out the barrel. The loonie, though, is 97.39. It's under $1. Thank you for that. The euro is 156 and 1100 thousandths, whatever it is. Boy, I'm going to tell you, man, there's a real stench coming from that White House. A real smell. Bad. So you're not going to tell us about the 2 to 4 slot, huh? Maybe Zach's working out that for himself.
Sure.
It's a rumor I'm hearing. That's what I'm starting. It's April Fool's Day, baby.
Oh, then I guess I'm getting the show if it's April Fool's Day.
Zach and Mark Eisenberg are going to be on 2 to 4 every day.
Howard David's the producer.
Yeah, and Mo can book you some stiff guests like Jimmy's Johnson.
I'd love that.
So what other guest did you book that he pissed off?
We just had a lot of guests that were one-and-dones that would come on once, and the next time they wouldn't call me back. Yeah.
Well, what was the reason for that, as if I have to ask?
I think you answered that yourself.
They didn't like Mo? Is that what you're trying to tell me? They didn't like Mo? They wanted to be on No Mo with Mo? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It's possible.
Well, what did he do?
Or their phones were disconnected. Or changed their phones.
What they do and the passion that they have for their teams is different from every place else. And mostly it's because most Toronto sports fans have never set foot outside of Toronto. Otherwise, they realize that sports fans everywhere are just about exactly the same. Other than to say that the ones that come to the stadium obviously have way more money than they probably should have.
Well, there you go. That's Bob McCown. I told you yesterday he's a great broadcaster. One of the few people I'd put in that category because this business has gone in the toilet. For years and years, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. And a few companies bought off every damn station, and they put on a bunch of syndicated garbage. That's why you people ought to be kissing the radio that I'm on here right now. I'm 150 years old, and I'm still plugging away. I'm still making sounds with my mouth. That's right. Kiss it, like Bubba would say. Kiss it. And in my case, if you can find it, kiss it. Well, we're approaching the 800 mark on that poll, but you know something? I'm real leery about your 1,000 today, Chris. I think
we're going
to do it. Real tourists.
We need 1.6 a minute. That's fine.
We need what?
1.6 a minute.
796 votes on the survey. It's not even a poll, it's a survey, for Christ's sakes. Where is everybody? They must be listening to all those new sports stations.
They're out on spring break.
What?
They're out on spring break.
Is that it? Our audience is on spring break. You should live so long.
Well, they're running around with
Our
their
audience
kids.
is in mourning at the Rascal House.
No, they're running around with their kids on spring break.
They're on Sunny Isles Beach
I'm
lighting
in mourning.
Yortzeit candles for the Rascal House.
I'll light one right
What
now.
are we going to do now, Sal? 796. It's still sitting there. I was hoping we get to 800 at least by the top of the hour.
I think it's Eric holding it.
Yeah, Eric's got his foot on that break again. Give us a break, Eric. You know, there's something that you don't know. Well, maybe you do know because you know something about computers.
Okay.
Eric can make the vote whatever he wants.
That is correct.
He can diddle with it, and he can make it say like 10 million votes.
So then I guarantee we'll get 1,000 by the end of the show.
Yeah. Now don't do that. We don't want to cheat. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If we have to cheat, we will. I'll just tell you that right now.
Now, how would you feel if you walked over to the computer around 5 in the afternoon to switch the poll, and there were like 9 million votes?
I'd feel like I've been It's April Fool's Day. Maybe he's going to do it. 800. We did make the 800, unless he's fooling.
All right.
Told you. The best days of my sex life are in the past, 444. In the future, hopefully 154. In the present, as in right this minute, it's great, 130. I'm screwing my brains out. Or I'm asexual, 32. That's what we got. I think that would be fun on April Fool's Day. I think we could screw around with that. Nobody's going to get all bent out of shape because we're not taking any calls. If we took calls, I'm sure that number's going, oh, Neil, now you're not just sending it in, but now you're diddling with the numbers, and Eric is fixing the number and making it up, and you're lying over here. Yeah, we're lying over here.
Never.
And, of course, being in the radio business, that's our specialty du jour every day. Mushroom barley soup, man. I do like that a lot. They had that at Myron's Deli in Pompano Park there in the casino. They had mushroom barley soup and, of course, matzo ball soup.
Oh, yeah,
with
there
noodles.
we go.
What?
I like matzo ball better than mushroom barley.
Mushroom barley is my favorite soup in the world.
Nothing better than matzo ball soup.
Wrong. But you know about soup, mister. And didn't you tell me the other day you're not a soup eater? Or was that Chris?
No, I said I have soup, but it's not something I go out of my way for.
Yeah, it's like ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
And we just got through playing that spot with Zach and his diet. Yeah,
I haven't had any
better
ice
stay
cream.
with it, man.
I haven't
and
had
then
any ice
don't
cream.
be blaming me and say, "Oh, that damn Rogers, that fat fart. He's the one that talked me into it." I'm not talking you into anything. All I'm doing is mentioning food categories, and right away you're like, like a child, like a kid in a candy store.
Candy.
Like a kid in a Godiva chocolate shop.
Ooh, Godiva.
So you don't like mushroom barley, huh?
No, I'm not. If I had the choice.
I will say this. My friend Dave had the matzo ball. It looked much better. The mushroom barley, the barley was like a little crunchy. I don't know.
So you can't mess up a matzo ball, you know? As long as you have someone there who knows what they're doing.
806 on the poll. I think we're going to do it. We're going to do 850. I don't know what we're going to do, and who the hell cares anyway? Speaking of food, Neil's half-price deals are the hit of the town. Every week we have another offer for Happy Neil Rogers listeners, and most weeks they're for restaurants that are still in business. Not every week, but most of the weeks. Now, you did hear about that, didn't you?
I did not, no.
Oh, well, Chris will tell you off the air.
That was fun.
Starting, that was hysterical, a real panic.
Hey,
Starting
Neil.
Thursday, you can buy $50 certificates for $25 to Lucille's American Cafe in Weston. Lucille's is a 1940s-style upscale diner that captures the luncheonette feel of that era. It's all about homemade food, huge portions, even big enough for Zach, and family-friendly prices. Menu items include a 12-ounce center-cut New York strip, pulled pork platter, barbecue baby back ribs, and marinated or Texas-style chicken breast. Plus, they've got phenomenal desserts like homemade bread pudding and their famous Big Split banana split, big enough to share but good enough to eat all by yourself. Zach. Lucille's American Cafe, 2250 Weston Road. Call 954-384-9007. And now, thanks to Fat Neil, you'll be able to buy $50 certificates at half price, just $25. The store opens this Thursday at noon on WQAM. But like we always tell you, be prepared to act fast, because once those certificates are gone, they're just gone.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
This is Dick Cheney. I like to relax by having Mary Magdalene massage my balls while listening to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
Hi, my weight is. Hi, my waist is. Hi, kids. Do you like fried things? Want to see me stick chocolate eclairs down my throat till I am sick? Clog my arteries and turn into a fat kid? French dip and get beefed up for a midlife crisis? Now I'm dead weight from all the junk that I ate, but I can't figure out what icing I want on my cake. And Dr. Dre said,
It's Slim Fast or your deathbed. Look how your waist spread, man. Just taste it.
My weight is 280. My waist is inflated.
Okay, it's 12 noon, man. Little hand just hit the big hand. 12 noon at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. We've even got some people alive there in Sunny Isles. How do you like that? Sitting on the corner.
Just barely.
812 is what you got.
Told you.
Told me what?
That we'd hit the 800.
Okay, now are you faxing me something, or is this another ad fax?
No, I faxed it to you. It should have been
Let me take a look. Uh-oh, it's from you. Can you add this to the poll? My sex life went bye-bye when I said I do. They said I do, and now they don't, is what they're trying to say. There's Barack.
Unable to compete in our international economy.
Oh, he's talking about Swillery again, unable to compete. That's her. Can you add to the poll went bye-bye when I said I do? Have you got a way of putting that on there?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Figure it out. The trickle of Democratic superdelegates declaring for Barack Obama is turning into more of a gusher. Have we got a sound for that? A gusher? I bet we do. But it sounds like...
We'll play the 360 we did.
We don't need the 360, okay, Mr. Hotshot? All you're doing is taking a cheap shot at George. And by the way, keep it up. The trickle of Democratic superdelegates declaring for Barack Obama is turning into more of a gusher, fast closing Hillary Clinton's once lead in the nomination race. What does that mean? And ratcheting up pressure on her to defend her candidacy. This is from The Nation. This is Katrina vanden Heuvel, okay? This is supposed to make sense. But it doesn't. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota announced her support this morning. The Wall Street Journal reported today that all 7 Democratic U.S. House members from North Carolina plan to come out for Obama in one fell swoop before that state's May 6th primary. The Democratic Party is blessed this year with 2 candidates with many excellent leadership qualities, and I believe each of them would be a strong president. I'm endorsing Barack Obama today because he's inspired an enthusiasm and idealism that we haven't seen in this country in a long time, Klobuchar said in a statement issued by the Obama campaign. I'm endorsing Barack because he's a new kind of leader, speaking with a different voice, bringing a new perspective and inspiring a real excitement from the American people, she said. He is able to dissolve the hard, cynical edge that's dominated our politics under the Bush administration. I believe Barack can unify the American people to address the many challenges facing our nation, she be saying. She's the 64th superdelegate to endorse Obama since Super Tuesday on February 5. Obama, boasting more than a 6-to-1 edge in superdelegate endorsement since Super Tuesday, is quickly catching up to Clinton on that count. He already leads in overall delegates in popular vote heading into the next contest, April 22 in Pennsylvania. These 795 superdelegates, elected officials, party leaders, and others are likely to decide the nominee because neither Clinton nor Obama appear likely to reach the clinching number just from those delegates awarded by primaries and caucuses. Clinton, who along with Obama is campaigning in Pennsylvania today, stressed several times over the weekend she's got no plans to drop out and may indeed take the fight all the way to the National Convention in late August. And that's because she's a hard ass, like George, a hard ass. She's going to stay in there no matter what. Now, she won't get the message, you know what I mean?
Now, is the only way she can basically get the nomination is if, Barack drops out?
If what?
Is if Barack drops out?
What do you mean drop out? Why would he drop out?
That's what I'm saying. It's basically her only way to get it.
There's as much chance of Hillary Clinton getting the nomination as there is of Wolfie Cohen coming back from the dead and serving you guys lunch in 15 minutes.
All right.
Yeah. Now, what do you say?
I'll take matzo ball soup.
And a big, you know what I would like? A big Reuben sandwich. Reuben, I've been thinking that your terms in office were really stinking. That's Reuben Askew. Remember him, the former governor, Reuben Askew? Another Yahoo. Why do we always have to have Yahoos? Although now we got... Yeah, governor. Who was that Martinez now? I used to call him Dracula. What the hell was his name?
Mel.
No, not Mel. That's your senator. You better learn your governors, mister, because you sure as hell don't know him. God. Buck Martinez. I don't know what his name was.
Who?
Buck.
You.
Another right-winger. Another a-hole. And, of course, your fat-ass Governor Jeb, the Jebster. So what do you think of that Marlin game last night? Did you go there? Did you watch it? Did you pay any attention? We're 38,000, so it said, for opening day.
I heard Zach was there with Joe Rose.
Even though they got beat 7-2, he's waxing so enthusiastic on Waxy about, it was so opening day and the sun and get out of here, you phony faker. All you're doing is sucking up to David Sampson, that's all, because you guys got stuck with those Marlin games. Good luck to you with that, by the way. You think you got bad numbers now, just wait. And what do we hear about them, by the way, since Zach won't tell us anything about our 2 to 4 hour? What do we hear about across the street? Anything?
The only news I've heard
lately. Other than the fact Bookster is leaving because he's going to do the Braves games?
That's the only news I've heard lately. And now you'll have K-Rog.
And Kevin Rogers is going on against us, 10-2. Rogers versus Rogers?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically what I've heard.
You sure aren't loaded with good material.
Well, you got to remember now that I left that building and my fiance still is in that building. So they don't say anything around her because they know that she'll say something to me. So now the news has quietly trickled down to nothing when it comes there. All the good gossip is now set in the corner of the room instead of in front of her now. So stinks for her. But
this thing you just faxed me, this is shocking radio news. You hear the sirens? That's because of the news, I think. Wow. Shocking news. Everybody strap yourselves in, baby. We got some big news, like Gabriel Healy used to say 400 years ago. There's big news tonight. He used to say good news. Good news. WWRL, 1600 AM. Flagship of the Progressive Radio Network Air America for the last 18 months, dropped the flag to half-mast yesterday by bumping 3 Air America programs, including midday host Lionel and Tom Hartman. WWRL replaced Lionel's 9 a.m. to noon show with 2 health infomercials and former host Ron Daniels' 11 a.m. to noon. 2 health infomercials. It replaced Hartman's noon to 3 p.m. show with Ed Schultz, the country's highest-rated liberal talker. Oh, my God. This is in the New York Daily News. WWRL also put the Reverend Al Sharpton's Daily Show into its 8 p.m. slot, bumping Air America's clout to an overnight spot. Sharpton will be heard on tape delay. Lionel and Hartman are still heard on Air America's national network, which an informed source inside Air America said yesterday remains very much alive. They hit him with 5 shots, and they're still alive. The network has had ratings problems in New York, some of which have been attributed to WWRL's dial position, 4500 on the AM dial, and spotty signal, and the station itself has shown some ambivalence about Air America. It's continued to carry its own morning show, which now features Kaz Carson. What? C-O-Z. How do you say that? Kaz? Coz?
Coz? I don't know.
Cousy?
Kaz.
Remember Bob Cousy? Can't speak a word. He's a broadcaster now, Bob Cousy. He can't speak. He's a broadcaster. Air America's original agreement with WWRL expired yesterday, said the Air America source, which freed the station to drop some programs. They will continue to carry Randi Rhodes, 3 to 6 p.m., and Rachel Maddow, 6 to 8 p.m., as well as several weekend shows. But the Air America source said this reduced schedule has sent the network looking for another New York station that could be more of a full flagship station. Meanwhile, the source said, a more limited agreement will keep some Scare America programs where they are. WWRL wasn't commenting on anything yesterday, but replacing 2 hours of Lionel's show with health infomercials is largely a financial move designed to bring in some cash, they said. WWRL's move will inevitably trigger more speculation about the future of Scare America. The network got another new owner last month when Charlie Carricker bought a controlling interest from New York developer Stephen L. Green. But the source inside Air America said the network is holding its own with affiliates, noting that Hartman added 4 stations yesterday, including Miami. Oh, my God. Including Miami. What time is he on? Tom Hartman?
I don't know.
Noon to 3. Oh, my God.
Uh-oh. Competition.
Well, we're in big trouble now, yeah. We got Kevin Rogers, and we got Tom Hartman, and we got Mary Hartman.
It's over, Neil.
Also, what?
It's over. Start packing up.
I'm unpacking it now. The source also said the network will launch a vastly expanded website next week, noting that an increasing number of listeners get their radio on the Internet. Fans of Lionel, who's been on New York radio for years and used to be in Tampa and was a Bob Lassiter protege and caller, voiced particular frustration yesterday at his disappearance. The shift gives a bigger platform to Sharpton and also to Schultz, who's popular around the country and hadn't previously had an outlet in New York. Well, there you go. The business continues to suck watermelons. How do you like that? It blows. This once entertaining business where we had like real people living and breathing people where they cared about the talent and not just about putting infomercials and crap on the air. Once upon a time, baby, it was worth owning a radio. Now I wouldn't wipe my ass with it. What are you doing with that radio, kid? I'm wiping my ass with it. Well, good choice. I wish I would have had one at the Hilton last Saturday.
So how did those pants come out?
I'm not getting into that with you.
How'd your pants come out?
They came out, I haven't worn them yet, but they look just fine.
They got the spring back in them?
Yeah, they got the spring back in them, I think. I don't know. Spring has sprung. Speaking of that, spring has sprung. Let me check what the temperature is here right now. We got a heat wave going on. Wow. Unbelievable. It is 56 degrees, and the sun is shining, too. It stopped raining. We had a 2-day rain, but now it's going to be all the way up to 58 today. How do you like that?
Nice.
With a low in the 20s, by the way. Don't get too carried away, Neil. Okay. 1 day spring. It's better than nothing. And thanks again for the nice weather when I was down there, man. It was beautiful. We had a great weekend. Good time was had by all. Hard Rock is awesome. I mean, it's I don't know. It's not as glitzy as the Pompano Casino because the one in Pompano is brand new, and I'm sure the Gulfstream one is really, really glitzy because it's also brand new. How's that Dania Highlight one that they haven't built yet?
Wonderful.
And Mardi Gras, you guys, well, Zach doesn't go to these places. He just wants to find out where to go so he can make some money playing slots.
Yep. And he wants a good deli, too.
I just got through telling you, go to Pompano, don't play Wheel of Fortune, play anything else. I did win $300 on a nickel machine there, along with the balloons. I forget what they call that game.
Do they have the chicken machine at Pompano?
No, I didn't see the chicken machines at Pompano, but they have them at the Hard Rock. They got the hee-haw. I'm telling you, man, that's where it's at. And I shouldn't say that, because next time I come down there, although I'm sure I'll find them at Gulfstream, I hope. The chickens, baby. Get those 3 chickens and get up to 29 free spins. 830 people have chimed in on our poll.
833.
You know, you're getting all whipped up and thinking you're going to get that 1,000. I'm going to tell you right now, your chances of getting the 1,000 are as good as Corky's bringing in 4 pounds of brisket and 600 potato latkes right now.
Wow.
We're going to get it.
Yeah, you're going to get it all right.
I'm starving now that you said that.
Why? You like now brisket you can have on this diet you're on?
I can, yeah.
A tasket, a tisket. Let's have some brisket. I love it.
I love
Corky's. And the brisket from Corky's was to die for. Man, it was.
There was a Corky's in Plantation, wasn't there?
Well, no, there was not. No, there was not. It was like in Tamarack or somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Gone. And once it's gone,
it's gone.
The best days of my sex life are in the past, 459, or in the future, hopefully 202. In the present, like right this minute, it's great, 134. I'm asexual, 36. And the best days of my sex life are over because I said I do, too.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Neil Rogers is my lover.
Well, congratulations. Get a life.
All right.
When I'm on the campaign trail, it's my job to talk smack. I tell some wild stories to cut down Barack. And I won't let up until Hillary's won. So I'll hammer away, 'cause I'm Bad Bill Clinton. Bad Bill Clinton. Bad Bill Clinton. Bad Bill. Bad Bill Clinton. And when I make a speech, people's eyes open wide, and Obama shrieks, 'cause he thinks that I've lied. Better not mess with me, baby. Slinging mud is such fun. So go vote for my lady, 'cause I'm Bad Bill Clinton. Bad Bill Clinton. Bad Bill Clinton. Bad Bill. Bad Bill Clinton.
12:18 at 560 WQAM. So Zach is useless as far as spy reports from across the street because his fiancée works there and they don't tell her squat.
No, she's out of the loop now, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's because she's going to report to you. She's going to come back and feed you all the straight dope from across the street. Well, what difference does it make?
Well, there's nothing good anyway, though, coming out of there. I mean, there's no good guys.
I don't hear anything about them no more, except when Barry occasionally writes some crap. You know, oh, they're juggling the lineup again, and yeah, right. That'll do it.
There's no good Joel Feinberg stuff. That's the problem.
Yeah, we miss him badly. Hey, Joel, we miss you badly, you a-hole, you jackass, you...
You fairy.
Yeah. That's a good point. When he was there, at least there was like something.
There was banter. There was news each week. There was him
There was
writing
banter. He
Joe
was beating
Bell
up
an
his
email.
girlfriend and stuff like that, whatever was going on.
Yeah.
He was talking a lot of crap. He was calling my show.
That was great.
Wasn't that great?
That was the most classic 10 or 15 minutes of radio I think I've listened to in the last couple of years.
And he admitted he knows nothing about sports and knows less about radio.
Yeah.
He knows a lot about losing daddy's money. He knows that. He has great expertise in doing that.
Must be nice to be a bored millionaire, son.
Sure. All this crap about life is fair and all that other garbage. Life isn't fair. It's what do they call draw the lot. Luck of the draw. Like that. It's like going into a casino. You have no idea. You sit down at a machine like that one I sat down at. How did I know that thing was going to go nuts? And on 2 consecutive hits, it was going to pay me about $1,300 on a 2-cent machine, man. And you know what I said when I walked away?
What?
That's a good machine, man. Because a good machine is the one that's paying when you're sitting at it and playing it.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. I don't want to get you started with the slots, though, although you're probably making a few more bucks than Chris.
Yeah, Zach is, I'm sure.
But then again, who isn't? Even
he's part of the Joe Rose fan club, so, you know.
Extravaganza.
I beg your pardon?
He's part of the Joe Rose posse, so.
So what you're saying is they like Joe, so anybody that works with Joe gets taken care of well, and because they hate me like poison, they screw everybody associated with the show. Is that what you're trying to say? Because you know it's true.
I didn't say that.
But you know it's true. And I'm sure George has told you that many times. Although they are taking care of Chicken Neck right now. That's a good sign. They're taking good care of Chicken Neck. Isn't that great? I'm not getting any emails.
I don't got no money.
I got news for you. Starting January 1, I'm not going to have any money either, because next year I'm going to be working at just dramatically reduced wages, assuming this thing goes through. Assuming Norma can finally get the thing done. Norma. God almighty.
You fairy.
Just, everything has to drag on and drag on. I wouldn't be surprised if he's dressing up in drag these days, Norma. God, just get it done and let's move on. Timothy Egan, who I have no idea who that is, contributing columnist for the New York Times. Let me see who he is. He writes Outpost, a column at New York Times, and is filling in for Bob Herbert, who's off today. It says, well, everybody's off. The little dog was off this morning again. Joe Rose, he's got a tickle in his throat, is what the rumor was. Isn't that, Zach probably knows something about that, about why he got that tickle in his throat?
Uh-huh.
Probably in the locker room at the Hurricane scrimmage.
Dolphins locker room.
And he still showers in the Dolphins locker room. That's what I hear. Him and Mad Dog.
Yes.
They still take showers with the guys. And with Danny Boy, I'm sure of that. Timothy Egan says, fresh ideas for a tired crusade. This is about pot, is what it's about.
All right.
The travel writer and public TV host Rick Steves is a certain kind of innocent abroad, benignly suburban to the core, with a bit of punch and the ever-quizzical look of someone who would try raw squid for breakfast and not complain about it. At 52, he spent a third of his adult life living out of a suitcase, ever in search of that bargain room with a view, encouraging his fellow Americans to become temporary locals. His influence is vast, and one of the reasons our citizens aren't more hated abroad in Bush's final days. I was having lunch once in Vernazza, and in the Italian Cinque Terre, watching waves of people pour into the tiny village to look for the serendipitous Stevesian encounter while clutching his guidebook. A sudden outburst came from my 7-year-old son. Rick Steves has got to be stopped, he said. Steves, who lives just north of Seattle, is packing his wrinkle-free clothes for his latest expedition to Europe. One can only hope customs will let him back in, for Steves has become a most unlikely voice on behalf of ending the tragedy of the drug war. He looks at the 800,000 Americans arrested every year on marijuana charges and wonders why the waste of time, money, and lives. Year after year, nothing changes except the faces of those people in jail. He thinks marijuana should be decriminalized and that drug use in general should be treated primarily as a health issue, as the Canadians, the British, and the Swiss and others do. How's it going, eh, Rick? His views are not novel, but it's been fascinating to watch the reaction since Steve started speaking out on this. Sponsors of his TV shows have hardly blinked. Cops and conservatives have told him how much they agree with him, and less than a month ago, the Luther Institute gave Steve its annual Wittenberg Award recognizing outstanding service to church and society. He's an active member of the Evangelical Lutheran Church, proving that nobody is perfect. If it takes a church-going guidebook writer who spent his college years as a member of the marching band to call for an end to this tired war, so be it. The cheerleaders and architects of harsh drug laws, from Rush Limbaugh, who promised to take random drug tests after admitting his addiction to pain pills, to the former drug czar Bill Bennett, who had a multi-million-dollar gambling habit, have been exposed as moral frauds. Two of the major presidential candidates are in the unique position to pivot away from the status quo. It's been largely forgotten, but Cindy McCain, the wife of presumptive Republican nominee, was once so hooked on the opiate painkillers Percocet and Vicodin that she resorted to stealing from a medical charity she ran. And Barack Obama, 1995 memoir, told of a youthful alcohol and pot use, maybe even a little blow when I could afford it, he said. He wrote this cautionary note, junkie, pothead, that's where I've been headed, the final fatal role of the young would-be black man. He's lucky, a man told him on a campaign trail not long ago. He didn't end up in jail, a ruined life, one of the 2.3 million Americans locked up in the world's largest prison system. Thus far, John McCain has said little about changing the approach to possession-only drug crimes. Let me read that again. To changing the approach to possession-only drug crimes. Got that? With a hyphen. Obama asked about it in January, said, I'm not interested in legalizing drugs. What I am interested in is putting more of an emphasis on the public health approach to drugs and less on incarceration. When a prominent supporter of Hillary Clinton raised the issue of Obama's experimentation as a potential swift boat issue, it drew more criticism of the accuser than the candidate. That doesn't surprise me. I was in Fresno, California once with the cops patrolling the mean streets of the city in armored personnel carriers, the drug war in its ultimate manifestation. These officers are mostly uniformly against the folly of the battles that they fought every night. Every society has its drug addicts, dating to Babylon, if not earlier. Every American knows someone or has a family member with a problem. President Bush used to drink too much and was cited for driving under the influence, but instead of using his life experience for change, he's done nothing but carry around the self-righteous tedium of the reformed drunk. We are left then with people like Rich Steves to renew the republic with common sense brought home from other shores. He's taken to heart these words. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. They come from an earlier innocent abroad, Mark Twain. Don't forget, the rain in Spain falls mainly on Mark Twain. Samuel Langhorne Clemens. I wonder if he's kin to Roger Clemens, you think? I wonder if he ever did steroids.
Probably.
What percentage of baseball players you think are doing roids? About 90%? It's just a rhetorical question. I wasn't expecting an answer. Certainly not from Zach.
No, definitely. I got
you. Who works the Joe Rose show where they suck up to all the athletes. Anybody takes showers naked with other guys, they suck up to on our sports shows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, be sure and go out to camp and see the Canes. Go out to camp and see the scrimmage. If you have no life, that's the part he always leaves out.
Biggest name.
8:53 on your poll.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Neil Rogers.
NFL Films present God of the Gridiron. He was born of a virgin and named Brett Lorenzo Favre. For the fan upstairs so loved the game of football that he gave his only begotten second-round draft pick. Favre would not only score touchdowns, he'd walk on water. Then he'd turn that water into light beer and loaves and fishes into nachos and hot wings. But though the slinging Savior hath given his football life into retirement, he shall rise again to be seated at the right hand of Al Michaels. For Brett Favre is the one true God of the Gridiron.
That's my editorial comment about him. I can't stand him. He makes my stomach turn. And when he retired and gave that tearful... Why is it all these jocks go into this big tearful thing when they make their retirement speech? Why do they do that?
It's an emotional thing.
Why?
It's a sad day for them. They got to give
Why?
up. They've given up something.
Look at all the millions and millions and millions of dollars he made for playing a stupid game.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it for the money. He does it
for the love of the game. Exactly. Right. 860 votes on Chris's survey. And if you don't make 1,000, man, Zach may be uninvited on Thursday when the food comes in.
Oh, come on. Then I got to get to another computer, then.
You what?
Eric, help me out.
Oh, Eric might put, like you said, he'll do an April Fool on there when you least expect it. He'll goose it up by about 5,000 votes.
I'm expecting in the 1:30 to 2
I'm trying to think of what the record is on there. Maybe Eric can research that since he's got his thumb on every statistic. I know we've done over 2,000 back during the Alien days.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Wow what?
That's a lot of votes.
Well, we supposedly have a queue of 150,000 people or so, or where it used to be anyway. So why would that... See, the problem with the votes on the pool is that, as you know, only so many people in an orifice or wherever can vote on the pool.
Correct.
Now, how does that work? In that building, for example, is it just like between the two of you guys, only one of you can vote?
Correct.
What
it's
about
basically
the rest
like, you know, our QAM Power 96 has its own internet provider. So anybody in this building on that provider, once one person votes, no one else can.
Wow. And there's like 100 or 200 people in that building.
Yep.
So that means if we get 2,000 votes, that means we got 8 billion people listening, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. Make up a number, Eric, later on, after the show is over. Goof it up. But I would like to find out the record. Had to be during Alien. I can do a little research of mine during the next break. I can look on there. There's Chris Dodd.
First meeting
he
of
supports Barack Obama, by the way. He looks just like Jerry Williams.
They would sit down with homeowners to try and work out new arrangements so the people...
You know the biggest difference between Chris Dodd and Jerry Williams?
What's that?
Chris Dodd is still alive. I think I had something to do with Jerry Williams' heart attack. I really do. I'll never forget that. Not that I feel bad about it. When I told him that Walter Sabo was stabbing him and not returning his calls, and he was responsible for Jerry not being on full-time on WRKO anymore, and he wouldn't return his calls, I said, don't you understand? That's why he won't take your calls, Jerry. He's sticking it to you. Oh, and he got all upset. And then the next day, he had a heart attack. And then shortly after that, guess what?
He died.
Excellent guess.
He died?
Yeah, that's it. The Food and Drug Administration, speaking of things that people smoke, the FDA may finally bring tobacco into its fold. See, I'm one of those people, call me crazy. I'm one of those people, I know a lot of folks say, oh, you're just making excuses for yourself being a glutton and yada yada. And that's the kind of stuff George says, you know. I think that the manufacturers of refined carbohydrates all ought to be in jail. I think all of the packaging on those products should be skull and crossbones. These products are hazardous to your health. They're addictive, and if you start eating them now, you're going to die from them. You know what I'm talking about? You know.
Oh, yeah.
Ice cream. Skull and crossbones, baby, immediately. Potato chips. You know what I really miss badly? We did that thing on a candy bar. We've done that a couple of times, your favorite candy bar. I don't think we ever put it on there because I don't see them anymore. Mallow cups?
What's that?
You know what those are?
No.
You've never had a mallow cup?
No. Like a Malamar? Like a little chocolate
No, it's like chocolate. It's like a small chocolate cupcake, it looks like, but made out of... And inside is like marshmallow.
Ugh. Yeah, like Malamars are like that now, like cookies, like chocolate.
No, not cookies. No, not cookies. Candy, chocolate. Hard chocolate with marshmallow inside. And you chew down and the marshmallow like bursts all over your puss. Man, it's good. Mallow. Yeah, well, they probably don't make them anymore. Anyway, a long-stalled bill vehemently opposed by the tobacco industry is set to move forward in Congress, which would grant the FDA power to regulate cigarette additives. It would not, however, allow the FDA to ban nicotine. Well, thank God for that, because that's the only reason people smoke is they're addicted to nicotine. That's the reason why people drink caffeinated soda. Why would you drink soda with caffeine when you can get caffeine-free? Now, do you drink soda with caffeine? I hope not.
I do not, no.
Good. What about you, Fatso?
Occasionally.
Why? And probably not even diet.
No, I only drink diet sodas.
Oh, thank God for that.
If I ask for a diet soda and they give me like a regular one, it's within a sip. It's like, oh, too sweet.
Well, that's what they do at the. I never did the regular one, but the ones you get at the casinos all have caffeine, of course. If I went to Woodbine and said, "I'll have a caffeine-free Diet Coke, please," they'd look at me like I was a nut job. Now, what I'm drinking here right now, it's French on the back. C plus diète orange, El éclaté, I don't know what that. This whole French thing, man, really blows. Low sodium, low calorie, C plus diet orange burst. Contains sun-kissed juice. It's got Splenda, but has a little tiny bit of carbs because it's got sun-kissed juice in it. So it's got 1 gram of carbs per 250 milliliters. How much is that? Not a lot. And I don't really care. I like it. It's got some taste to it, you know what I mean? As opposed to like the regular same old.
You mean like
anyway, getting back to this bill to regulate cigarettes in the FDA. This week the bill is likely to pass the House Energy and Commerce Committee, the Wall Street Journal said today. Supporters hope for a vote by the full House later this spring. The bill could still run into barriers in the Senate, and the FDA commissioner, a Bush administration appointee, has raised concerns about it. Another hack who's probably on the payroll of the tobacco companies. Another shill. The bill's progress could position tobacco regulation as an election year issue for supporters in both parties, eager to capitalize on the industry's unpopularity. Faggots are unpopular in America. If the bill passes Congress, Democrats will be able to flag it as a significant legislative accomplishment after more than a decade of efforts to grant the FDA sway over tobacco, they added. They want sway. Oh, Hotels.com says sun, sand, surf, and savings. I wonder where they're trying to send me. Vacation packages. Probably Florida. Sorry, I just came back. I got sun, no sand. Actually, usually when I'm out there, I go out on my patio and I lay in the sun and get some sunshine. I didn't do that. Would have been a good idea, wouldn't it?
Why not?
Didn't have time. I was too busy eating and schmitting. And then going to the casinos. I feel really bad I didn't get to Gulfstream. Maybe we should take some calls and find out about how they're doing at Gulfstream. Or we could wait till Monday when George comes back. So what do you think we're going to do, Chris?
I think we'll probably wait till Monday and then not do it.
Right. I mean, I could take some calls. Of course, I can't punch them up here because I still haven't connected all that stuff together, with the router, because I don't want to take a chance on losing my internet again.
Exactly.
But you could punch them up there. We could take some. But you know what? I don't want. I'm not gonna. Then if Republicans stop the bill either in the Senate or through a presidential veto, that could also play well for Democrats on the campaign trail, eager to burnish their health care and regulatory credentials. All three presidential candidates, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Republican John McCain, are co-sponsors of the Senate version of the FDA bill. The bill would lead to sweeping changes in both the FDA and the tobacco industry, the Journal adds. It would put into law ideas that former FDA Commissioner David Kessler pushed in the 90s before his effort was struck down by the Supreme Court. Among other powers, the bill would allow the FDA to set product standards, which could include limiting certain ingredients in cigarettes. Tobacco makers, whose products have been largely unregulated, would have to turn over to the agency extensive information and win FDA approval for claims that products carry reduced health risks. The agency would get the ability to regulate advertising of tobacco products. I think I'm all for it, but I want to see the advertising come back. Winston tastes good like a cigarette. You'll get the Marlboro Man back,
Mm-hmm.
Newports.
So apparently, with
Call
Eric's
for
research...
Philip Morris. Apparently what?
Eric's research, he believes poll 1601 had the most votes with 2,865.
Woo! 2,800 plus?
It's not too shabby.
Wow.
Now, what was the poll? Did he tell you or not?
He didn't tell me.
Well, during the break, I'm going to check it out right now.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Absolutely.
Banana picking Julios who thrive on anarchy are building an arena for the Miami Heat. Having two arenas somehow don't seem right. Better ask Jeff Owen for financial advice. NBA is locked down. There's no basketball. They're all on strike. Let's burn the place down. An insurance check would sure be nice. Before we lose our ass, take that can of gas. Light that match.
Don't forget that Jewish Lightning is only effective if you have plenty of insurance. 12:45 at 560 WQAM. So guess what the poll was about that we got all those votes, 2,865?
Elion.
Nope.
Howard David.
Nope.
Your underwear.
Nope.
Defo.
George W.
Really?
Bush. What one word best describes George W. Bush? We had 2,865 votes. Dangerous 553. Moron 263. Unqualified. Unqualified 260. A-hole 254. See, we can't even say that anymore. Back in the day, we could say ass. Leader 228. Failure 190. Dumb Schmidt 150. Liar 107. Bozo 92. Nincompoop 73, Evildoer 72, Antichrist 55, Fascist 51, Murderer 48, Schmuck 43, Brilliant 43. Oh yeah, he's brilliant.
Abu Ghraib.
Dedicated 41, Imbecilic 39, Hypocrite 31, Putz had
about 30, man.
Fool had
about 30, man.
Thief 28, Dumbbell 27. Hear the sirens again, man. Wow, it's a heavy-duty day out there in the streets of Toronto. You hear it? Whoop,
yes.
Whoop. Butcher 24, Coward 23, Honorable 23, Quizlane 22, Steadfast 22, Reckless 14, Fairy 11.
You fairy.
Warmonger 10, and Fearmonger 8. 2,865. Boy, you know something? Now, if we did that now, I would have persevered till we got to 3,000. You know what I mean?
We'd have to push at least. Gotta get
like today, we're not going to make 1,000 a day.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. Guaranteed it. We got 878 according to my computer. 882, like I said. 882. We need 118 in 73 minutes. That's not going to happen.
Easy.
What do you know? You don't work on this show. We need 1.7 a minute. Chris knows that doesn't happen.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, you're going to do it all right.
We're going to. Just watch.
You need 117 votes to get to 1,000. And they're not even votes. They're just, a survey, a tally, a little something. Boy, how the mighty have fallen, man. I wonder what the date was on that Bush poll. It's going to be a long time ago. Now, here's an interesting one, since I was doing the history on there and going back. Poll number 651. Who is the weakest link at WQAM? We had 831 in that poll. Leading the way, I don't know. I only listen to Neil Show, 283. 34%. Moe Howard David did 24%. He had 199. Kicked ass. Joe Zagaki
sucks, okay?
Aki, 101. The Humper had 77. He's gone. In fact, almost everybody on here is gone. The Crow had 65. Geldy, 29. Geldy Geldstein. The Big O, who continues to be
rock solid.
He's on here at 23, the weakest link. Mad Dog, 22.
All right.
Mark, I Eats My Feet, Eisenberg, 15. Now, what does that mean, I Eats My Feet?
No idea. Maybe a Dirty Boys reference?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he bites his toes. Maybe he trims his toenails with his teeth.
Yummy.
Racer Joe Costello, 13, and Eddie K. in last place, which is good in this poll. Eddie had only 4 as the weakest link. That was some time back, because most of those people, in fact, everybody on the list except Mad Dog and Big O are gone. Well, of course, Joe Z doing those horrible games, but they're gone. And once they're gone,
they don't
come back. Although not necessarily in this business. Sometimes they make a comeback. That would be a good poll. Oh, we already did that. We did that just a couple of days ago. What former host would you like to see back? Didn't we just get through doing that? Wow.
I got your Crowbonics right here, homeboy.
He wasn't on there either, as a matter of fact, the Crow. We should try it again and make sure we put him on there, right?
I miss the Crow.
Oh, well.
No, you don't.
I know.
No, you don't. You don't miss the smell of that cashmere bouquet. I have never in my life met a man, or a woman, anybody, who smelled that pungent. It smelled like he bathed in cashmere bouquet powder. I don't know how you do that, but that's what he smelled like. I mean, I've always said it, it's important to smell good, but don't overdo it. You know what I mean by that?
Oh, yeah.
So that people who walk by you swoon. Oh, my. Or like get in the elevator with you, God forbid.
567. Oh, 8560.
Yeah, we missed that. Big time.
He was a nice guy.
Ask the people in accounting whether he was a nice guy or not.
Yeah,
which is why he got canned. When he went back there and bitched them out and screamed and hollered because he wasn't getting paid. I mean, there are a lot of us who've gone through that, and we just go with the flow, Pay us when you feel like it. In fact, Jolly Joe has done a wonderful job on that. I get paid a day or two early now as compared to before when, I used to be on Pins and Needles. Is the check going to show up this time? Like that. He's done a great job of that. And you want to know why?
Why?
He loves me. You believe that?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Everybody loves you.
No, he wants me to stick around. That's why. He wants me to work for about the same salary as Chris. And I'm on the verge of doing it. We got 897. We better be well over 900 by the top of the hour to get a shot at that 1,000.
We're going to do it.
No, we're not.
We're going to do it.
898. See, they're coming in by the ones.
We're down to 1.5
we
a
need
minute.
chunks. We need clumps, like hemorrhoids, baby. We need clumps, like clumps of grapes in your roids. I bet you both of you guys have had roids.
I've never had it, no.
No.
No?
Nope.
No. Isn't that what old people get?
No, that's what fat people get. Hemorrhoids. You've never had roids?
Nope.
Zach?
I have not.
Get out of here. Ask the Beast if he's ever had roids.
No, that's okay.
They could make 50 bottles of wine with the grapes that he's hanging.
That's going to make me sick.
It's not a very pleasant thought.
No,
I'm thinking maybe I'll embarrass him into like losing an ounce.
All right, good luck.
Now, who was saying, was it Joe that was saying yesterday about how Beast goes walking with Dad or something like that? And his parents are responsible also. They take him on those cruises. Now that he's married, I don't know whether they're still doing that.
Hey, guess what?
What?
900. We're going to do it.
You know something? If you look up putts in the dictionary, you will see Chris's picture right next to that word. Putts.
I want some royalty fees then.
Royalties for what?
For having my picture.
901.
See?
And we're having fun.
In the sun.
Worries about one world order and a North American Union have been ginned up by the blogs and the Internet, Senator Barack Obama told a Lancaster, Pennsylvania audience in a stump speech yesterday as he continued his tour throughout the battleground state. He also defended the recently reauthorized Patriot Act. I'm not too happy about that, Barack. Responding to a question from the audience asking whether he was a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, a group many allege is leading a move toward one world government, Obama said, I don't know if I'm an official member. I've spoken there before. It's basically a forum where people talk about foreign policy. There's no official membership. I don't have a card or, a special handshake or anything like that. Like the Masons have that special handshake?
That's what I hear.
And the Yaleys, what do they call that fraternity from Yale? The Dumbos. Bush was in it. Where they
Skull and something or whatever?
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, something like that.
What is it called?
I don't remember. It's the Skull and something society or whatever.
Yank and Twist. Senator Hillary Clinton has spoken several times to the Council on Foreign Relations. Comments she made yesterday against NAFTA were posted on the group's website. Often because the Council has served as a lightning rod for conspiracy theorists, candidates shy away from listing their affiliation with the group. Vice President Cheney is a former director, but taken pains not to publicize that fact. A former director of the Council on Foreign Relations, and a real crook, a gangster, Dick Cheney.
Skull and Bones.
Evildoer. 1,000 times more evil than Bush or any of the rest of those Nazis. I've been a member for long and was actually a director for some period of time, he told members in the speech broadcast on C-SPAN and now on YouTube, adding, I never mentioned that when I was running for re-election back home in Wyoming. That's Cheney, as Chris Matthews calls him, Dick Cheney. Now, have you ever seen Chris Matthews, Zach?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that he can't speak?
Yeah, I don't know how he has his job, but, that happens.
He must have Anderson Pooper connections.
Or naked pictures.
He must be related to somebody. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing about his days in politics in Pennsylvania and his brother and all this other crap. Nobody cares about your days in politics, okay? And your politics fix, you idiot.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. Told you. Skull and Crossbones. That's what they ought to have on every package of candy, ice cream. Mallow Cup. Oh, I can't believe you've never had that. You'd die from it. The Council on Foreign Relations has been at the center of several one world order conspiracies, with theorists contending that the group is conspiring to bring about one world government and a North American Union similar to the European Union. Obama dismissed those notions. I see no evidence of this actually taking place, he said. I think this is something that's been ginned up on certain blogs and the Internet. It was based mostly on the fact that there's this highway being built in Texas that will facilitate transportation between Mexico and the intercontinental U.S. and Canada. NAFTA helped to break down barriers, but I don't think there's any conspiracy to create this one continental government, he'd be saying. 912 votes as Chris is marching on his way toward 1,000. And if he gets it, boy, I'll tell you, Zach will give him a big kiss at 2 o'clock. Right on the lips.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
1 to 2 hour.
Okay, it's 101 and 560 WQAM. You're stuck on 918, Chris. You're not going to make no 1,000.
We're going to do it.
You need 82 votes in 59 minutes. I can't smell it.
I can smell it.
Can you smell it?
And the
that must be
poll,
Chris.
No.
When the pressure gets heavy duty on the poll, like this, and he knows he's going to fall short,
919.
that aroma starts seeping under the door there.
Nope.
The best days of my sex life are 919 now. We got one more. One Moe. In the past, 490. In the future, hopefully, 224. In the present, like right this minute, and it's great, 149. Like right this second. I'm asexual, 39, and the best days of my sex life are over because I said I do, 17. They said I do, and now they don't. That's my best advice to everybody. Don't get married. I mean, it's fashionable now. All the movie stars can do it. I see that Brad Pitt finally tied the knot. You see that?
Yep.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, it's going to happen.
What's her name? Angelina Jolie.
Ooh.
Not Jennifer Aniston. Angelina Jolie. They've got 3 kids already, and they say, oh, well, maybe we'll get married now. See, that's the way they do it. And the same with a lot of the athletes. You're stuck on 919, man. You got about as much chance of getting 1,000. And that's
we're going to do it.
What?
We're going to do it.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
Not.
Not, yes.
Can't. Won't.
Huh. Think positive, old man.
921, there's a pair for
See?
you. A teeny tiny pair. I know who those must be attached to. Although there are a lot of rumors about him, man. When we first came to the QAM building, a lot of rumors about Gildy.
Ooh, what kind of rumors?
Something like a hippopotamus. I don't know what they were talking about. Is
923.
Remember that song, Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley? A lot of rumors about Gildy being like the Milton Berle of Squeak Radio. Pennsylvania voters elect few women or blacks. How do you like that?
Interesting.
But they'll have to choose one or the other in the April 22nd Democratic presidential primary between Barack and Swillery. There's no consensus explanation among political operatives and scholars for the political glass ceiling in this state, which currently has only 1 black and 1 woman in its 21-member congressional delegation and has never had a black or female governor. Only 1 black and 1 woman have ever sought the governorship on a major party ticket in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's kind of a strange state. It reminds me a lot of Michigan in some ways. Although at least they've got Pittsburgh, which isn't saying much. I mean, not that Michigan doesn't have other big cities, but not as big. They got Detroit and the rest of the state. Grand Rapids, Saginaw, Flint, Kalamazoo, Lansing. Not any biggies. But they got Detroit. That's Michigan. And in Pennsylvania, it's Philadelphia and Pittsburgh to a much lesser extent. Ever been to Pittsburgh, Chris?
Just the airport.
I have not been there, no.
No, don't go. Although they got a great restaurant called the Mountain View Inn in Greensburg, PA, just outside of Pittsburgh. The Mountain View Inn. They have the best damn turkey dinner there. Oh, my God. I'm assuming it's still there. Maybe you want to Google it. Mountain View Inn, Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
So what other places do you have on the do not go to list? I have Detroit. I have Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's okay. I mean, I don't know why. Why would you want to go there? Let me see if they're racing today at the Meadows. That's in Meadowlands, Pennsylvania, just south of Pittsburgh. A lot of people think that Meadowlands, PA is where the Meadowlands is, and of course it's not. That's in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as you probably know, being from New York.
Well, I know that one, too.
Oh, here's race 2 at Tampa Bay with this announcer that goes spastic. Calls every race like it's the Kentucky Derby.
Mountain View Inn near Greensburg, PA.
And they're out. And they're out. From the outside, Stag Renner breaks for the lead with King Palant.
These are like $6 claimers, They ready for the glue factory. Tampa Bay down.
Legal Exchange, and far back in the early going is the favorite, Cartamagno.
Oh, my God.
Up the backstretch
Here
they
comes
go.
the bunny, and there goes your money.
Stag Runner crosses over from the outside under Gonzalez and has the lead and opens up 5 on the field. Legal Exchange is second.
This horse on the lead is going to puke and gasp. He's going to stop in mid-stretch and take a nap.
The outside fourth. Then it's 2.5 lengths farther back. Jones Echo making up ground now fifth.
3.
Then we go back to Northern Bayou 6. The gap of 2. Mr. Moonshine is 7. 2.5 lengths farther back. He's a Hurricane racing along 8.
And here
2
goes
times
the field
good
past
is
the,
9th. Dr. Duke is 10th. 5 lengths farther back. The trailer is still the favorite, Cartamango. With a quarter of a mile to run, Lucky Dragon has the lead. King Palance on the outside, and now King Palance has went to the lead.
Oh. Horse just fell in the jockey.
As they turn into the stretch.
And he never even said anything about it.
King Palance on the outside has the lead.
Horse just fell and the jockey went flying off and he never even said anything about it. Well,
that's exciting.
Yeah, well, I hate that when I see that. You ever see it?
I've seen it.
Have you?
So Mountain View Inn still there.
In Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, mountainviewinn.com.
It's like a hotel and a restaurant. Good food.
Looks like a nice place.
To Pennsylvania. What?
Looks like a nice place.
It's a beautiful place. I'm not saying that Pittsburgh is like that. Pittsburgh is what it is. You know, it's industrial. It's in the middle of nowhere. It sucks. Philadelphia, though, on the other hand, is some pretty interesting people in Philadelphia. The Dow is up 309 points. Holy moly, baby! You better buy before it's too late. Not. Anyway, getting back to Pennsylvania, if I can, am I allowed to do that, or do I have to ask Chris Matthews' permission?
I would ask first.
Before we get our politics fix? Some chalk it up to the party's failure to recruit more women and blacks and a tendency to favor incumbents over untested upstarts. Some theories hold that juggling young families in political careers deters women from seeking full-time orifice or voters from choosing them. Some believe the concentration of blacks in urban areas works against black candidates for statewide office who must seek votes in predominantly white rural counties, once famously compared to Alabama, with or without that banjo on your knee. Pennsylvania's voting age population is more than 50% female and about 10% black, but neither group has comparable representation among top state and federal elective offices. One of the worst showings, only 15% of the 253 seats in the legislature are filled by women, leaving Pennsylvania 43rd nationally in that category. State Democratic Party Chairman T.J. Rooney sees no inherent bias against black or female candidates. The challenge that confronts candidates of any stripe is being able to put together the money and the organization, he said. Oh, boy. That sounds so Canadian when they say the organization. That's a hockey thing, you know. Isn't it a hockey thing? Now, who do we have on the station that's covering hockey now, Zach?
You.
Oh, here's the fourth race coming up. Here's the post parade at the Meadows.
Hanover, single claim.
There's Mike Wilder on the 6th. Taco Hanover.
Number 7 is Final Amore.
Dave Pallone looks like to me. That's Dave.
West Virginia, Mario Nebraska train. Dave Pallone, the 7. Final Amore.
Amore. You know, this man, he needs help. He really does. Roger Houston. The world needs to be saved from Roger Houston and people like him. Well, that was ugly when that horse went down there at Tampa. You should have seen. And he probably had some nice bandages on, too. But he got right up. The jockey kind of rolled around a little bit, and then he jumped up. Everybody's fine.
Well, that's good.
Well, I'm sure you're worried about it.
I was.
We got 1 minute to post time for the fourth race at the Meadows, where they have like a pickup truck for the starting gate. I mean, that's not too classy, you know what I mean? Like a lot of racetracks, they use a Cadillac for the starting gate or some kind of nice vehicle, you know?
Really?
There they have a pickup truck. So if you doubt that you're out in the sticks in the middle of Meadowlands, PA is like several miles south of Pittsburgh, in the middle, like in the middle of a cow pasture, in the middle of nowhere. And there's a racetrack, and I bet you're shocked that I've been there.
Absolutely.
Aren't you shocked?
I'm shocked if you haven't been to every racetrack in the U.S.
I've been to Liberty Bell Track, which is no longer there in Philadelphia. I was to Liberty Bell with Robert Campbell and Billy Houghton and Peter Houghton and Peter Pumpkin Eater. 942 votes on the survey. Well, I'm doing it because Clarence wants more sports on this show. He doesn't tell me that, but I'm sure in his heart of hearts, in his parts, he wants a lot more sports. They're getting ready to go to the post at Meadows. We have time to hear the race. It's an 8-horse field. The 1 is the heavy chalk at 4-5, and the 6 is the second choice at 5-2. And Pallone is 7-1. Uh-oh, look out now. Look out. And Aaron Merriman is 35-1 from the famous Michigan and Ohio Merriman racing family. Wow. Remember Jim Merriman Jr. and Jim Merriman Sr. and Tom Merriman? Of course not. Remember Merriman Road in Detroit? No, you don't. In Livonia? There used to be a buffet called Skipper's Table. You guys would have gone nuts there.
Really?
Many a day I went with my racetrack friend from Michigan. We would to DRC, Detroit Racecourse, for the nighttime racing, and we'd go early, and we'd stop at Skipper's Table, the buffet, and manja, baby. I mean, just really, not like high quality stuff, but a lot of good food. You know what I mean?
Is that the one you used to skip classes with?
No, that was John Sobel. This was my friend Dar, who worked at General Motors in Lansing. No, he was a different guy. With a wife, by the way. And so did the other one have a wife. Just in case you're curious about these things. Look at that. There's an 80-1 shot leading.
Go on to the first quarter mark.
Pallone is 10-1, and he comes out of the pocket. You don't want to sit behind that piece. You know what I mean? You don't want to sit behind a dead piece.
I'll take your word for it.
Coming 3 wide. Mike Wilder and Taco Hanover charging to the front.
Yeah, we don't care. 946 tallies on the poll. Now, you got 49 minutes. You need 54 votes. I think now it's doable.
We're going to do it.
Well, it wasn't doable before, and maybe,
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe they're coming to your rescue now because they feel sorry for you. Or they feel bad that you're taking so much abuse because, and of course, it's Zach's fault.
It's always.
And we're glad to have Zach. The audience likes Zach. Most of them like Josh Cordes, too, except for Brandon, who hates him like poison. I haven't heard a word from him today, so he must be very satisfied.
Fourth day lane, following the cover. Jack.
Mike Wilder's got that 2-1 favorite on the lead. Now he's the second choice. The 1 is 4-5. 1 is second over and coming like a bandit on the outside.
4 out. 3 quarters, 1.
And what I told you about the chalk? Here comes the bunny, and there goes your money. Take the chalk and throw it out.
On top, Taco Hanover
The 1
now
is
by
a
2.5.
struggling third at the
Mikey
moment.
Palooza second. Bay Lane continues to inch up third.
And the 6th horse, Mike Wilder's just beating and pounding and wailing on his feet. He is just smashing the crap out of it. It looks like he's going to fall down and be on his hands and knees, but he's going to win the race easy.
Coming to the wire, it's all Taco Hanover.
But I tell you, my buddy Taco Schmacko won the race, and Mike Wilder got second with a chalk. Another beaten favorite. That's my handicapping lesson for you guys when you go with George to a Gulfstream. Don't play the chalk.
Was he 80-1, or was that the other horse? I like the 80-1 shot.
The 80-1. Here he comes now. He just crossed the line now. What are you talking about?
I would have bet on that guy.
My advice to you on your racetrack shenanigans, stay home. That's my best advice. 9:48. You need 52 votes in 48 minutes. You can do it. Or not.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Get the honey, Junior.
Who was the greatest? Who was the best of all time? In one corner, the reigning champion at Mason the Line Dixon. He'll be pitted against the former two-time heavyweight champion, Rocky Balboa.
I've been drinking 3 glasses of Metamucil a day. I'm going to make it 3.
Cuba says Rocky Balboa would be triumphant.
What are you trying to prove, Pop? Don't you think you're too, old?
Marty, my mahjong and shuffleboard partner at the home. He says I still got it. Want to prove him right.
Think your brain's losing altitude?
Paulie, back in the day, your sister and I, we used to get it on all over, especially in the basement.
What basement?
The basement at the pet store.
To beat this guy, you need speed. You don't have it. You've got calcium deposits on most of your joints, so sparring is out.
I had that problem.
So what we'll be calling on is blunt force trauma. Heavy-duty punches that will rattle his ancestors. Let's start building some hurting bombs.
I gotta get over for the early bird specials tonight. I'm meeting Eunice for dinner.
Why is this billed as an exhibition?
So they wouldn't have to call it an execution.
Oh, I think I just crapped my depends.
Rocky Balboa. Can you do it?
He can do it. You ain't going to do it, though. I told you. You slow down to a crawl.
We're going to do it.
You had 9:48. Now you got 9:49. Now you got 9:50. They're coming in like about 1 every couple of minutes.
That's all we
You're
need.
lucky to get to 9:60 the way this thing is slowed down, that pool. I don't understand it for the life of me. What's with these people? I think it's when I put that horse race on there. Then they start getting surly, and they start turning over to Jorge Sedano to see about something more important, like the Canes, like the Heat. The Heat. You'll hear all about the Heat at 2, whether you want to or not. With Jerks. Is he on today? Is he going to be with us or what?
He's here.
How long is he going to be with us?
For a while.
Oh, here's Paul Maurice with the Leafs press conference saying the Leafs suck. We know that, Paul. Get out of here. Get lost. You're done. It's the reason I played the Rocky thing. Senator Swillery Clinton says she has something in common with legendary film boxer Rocky Balboa. She's not a quitter. Recalling a famous scene on the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art from the 1976 Oscar-winning film Rocky, Clinton said that ending her presidential campaign now would be as if Rocky Balboa had gotten halfway up those art museum steps and said, well, I guess that's about far enough. Let me tell you something when it comes to finishing a fight. Rocky and I have a lot in common. I never quit, I never give up, and neither do the American people, she said, in excerpts of prepared remarks to be given today to a meeting of the Pennsylvania AFL-CIO. Oh! Clinton warned that Democrats won't have an easy time against Republican nominee-in-waiting John Insane McCain in the general, and implied that her rival, Senator Barack Obama of Illinois, may not be up to the task. The Republicans aren't going to give up without a fight, she said, and no matter how beautiful your rhetoric, the Republicans aren't going to turn off their attack machine. It doesn't have an off switch. But one thing you know about me, she says, is that when I say I'll fight for you, I'll fight for you. I know that what it's like to stumble. I know what it means to get knocked down. But I've never stayed down. I never will. That's what Bubba said. She knows how to go down. Not. In recent days, Swillery has made an issue of calls from Obama backers for her to abandon the Democratic race. They've argued that Obama holds the lead in delegate count and a protracted Democratic primary would damage the eventual nominee. Now, this is one of the most important elections we've ever had. There's so much at stake. But just as it's getting time to vote here in Pennsylvania, Senator Obama says he's getting tired of it. His supporters say they want it to end, she said. Obama refused on Saturday to go along with other Democrats who are calling for Clinton to drop out of the race. My attitude is Swillery can run as long as she wants, he said. You go, Swillery. And do it soon. 9:52, man. You're slow down to a crawl. Remember the tortoise and the hare?
We're gonna get it.
Remember the tortoise and the hare?
That's what I've read it, yeah.
You're like the tortoise now, baby.
We're gonna do it.
You're like that Brer Rabbit.
And the tortoise won.
Welsh rarebit. You ever heard of that?
Huh?
Some British thing with cheese on it. I think it's pretty good. Welsh rare. And the British eat a lot of rabbit, too, don't they?
Oh, God.
And in Finland, they eat reindeer. Can you imagine eating Santa's reindeer?
No.
That's really sick. It's like eating a deer. Isn't deer venison?
Yep.
Have you ever had it?
I don't think I've had it.
I have.
It's supposed to be great.
And?
I did not. I got tricked into it. Someone told me it was steak. And I had a couple bites. I was not very happy.
No. And then when they told you it was Bambi, you started crying like a baby, I bet.
I was in Amsterdam when that happened.
It was in Amsterdam?
They gave me swordfish. They told me it was chicken, and they gave me reindeer, and they told me it was steak.
Yeah, tell Chris about the great cuisine you had in Amsterdam, like at Kentucky Fry or at McDonald's, Mickey D's.
That's exactly what the best... The only thing I had there that was good that was actually in restaurants where I had pancakes at every single place I went to.
I've been to Amsterdam, remember?
The food sucks.
Yeah, we had it more American places than local places.
Here's a couple of polls from Sean, who's got a new header now. Look at this. A whole new setup here on his fax. It says, thanks to George for the remote at Gulfstream, when is he going to have some strip club remotes for us aristocrats? And by the way, did he ever show up there at Gulfstream, Sean?
I believe he did, yeah.
It says, by the way, the only good thing about Mallow Cups was the little tickets inside you could cash in. They were usually worth a nickel. But when I was 7, I got a $5 one. I thought I was Diamond Jim Brady Jr. Here's the deal on the Mardi Gras, Shaw says, because he's in Hollywood. He knows his Hollywood crap. The casino is just okay, and the lounge has a chimichurro steak, Argentinian-style skirt steak for $9.99. That's juicy as hell will knock your socks off. Chimichurro. I wonder if that's like a chimichanga.
Probably close.
But the racing and simulcast area upstairs is a dump that looks like they've imported extra losers from other tracks. They look like the people were turned away from Wheeling Downs. Wheeling Downs in West Virginia. I've never been there, thank God. In the face of almost everyone there reads the story of another wasted life, says Sean. He's got a couple of polls on here, too. How do you like that?
Actually, wasn't it Sean that was scaring away some of the two idiots while we were on the air?
What are you talking about?
You asked was George there Friday. Yeah, I believe George said Sean was kind of like trying to give the two idiots the intimidating stare, and they kind of ran away.
Well, which two idiots were they? Was it like Chamba, that one, and his boyfriend? Prozac, those two. They showed up again? Well, thanks a lot, Sean. You're the best, man. He went there and he was like George's bodyguard and chased away those idiots. 959 votes on the poll. We need 41 more in 36 minutes. I don't know.
We're going to do it.
Confidence is very marginal at best.
We're going to do it.
I can tell you. Yeah, you're going to do it. You're doing it.
1.2 a minute. We got it.
Yeah, you got it.
It's in the bag.
Yeah, it's in the bag, all right. I can smell it.
You'd know about that.
Spartanburg, South Carolina. I wish I would have had a bag. Boy, you know, I was thinking about that the other day.
And you could have taken it to the dry cleaners.
After I had that experience. And I don't want to get too indelicate here because it is a family show, of course. But I just can't even imagine what that would be like. Look at that. The Dow is up 318 points. Oh, baby, get your bets in. See, people who invest in the stock market, they don't realize that it's gambling. It's pseudo-intellectual gambling is what it is. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
You know what you could do is just like buy a motorhome and drive that around everywhere so you don't have to wonder where the bathroom is.
Yeah, that motorhome would have fit real good into Ruth Chris. I just drive it right into the elevator there in the Hilton Hotel and just zoom right on down to the restaurant.
You should keep a plastic bag with you at all times.
Out of my way, you bastards. I'm coming in. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Authorities say a man robbed a Spartanburg bank after the check he tried to cash bounced. Police told WYFF-TV the man gave a teller a personal check for $173 yesterday morning, but the teller couldn't cash it because there wasn't enough money in the account. Authorities say the man told the teller he had to have the cash or somebody was going to kill him. The teller told police the man then said it was better to go to jail than die, and he wrote a note saying he was robbing the bank. Police say the teller gave the man some money and he ran away. All right. Investigators say they have a suspect but not yet made an arrest. Now, that's a good scam for you. Go into the bank and send them a note and say, if you don't give me like $500, somebody's going to kill me. And maybe they're stupid enough to give you the $500. I doubt it, though. Because I'm sure that in the bank, just like at the racetrack, the tellers, at the end of the day when they, cash out, and they have to, figure out how much, you know what I mean? What do they call that?
Yeah, they tally it up.
They tally it all up. And I'm sure in the bank the tellers are the same way. So at the end of the day, if you're supposed to have $7,200 and you've got $5 left, somebody's probably going to stick their nose in your ass.
It's interesting.
And of course, some of you might like that. 961 votes, just like Dan LeBastard was doing to the Marlins this morning in the Herald. Oh my God. What a suck-up job. Just embarrassing. They lose 7-2. Probably 20,000 of the people there, more than half were Mets fans. But opening day and the sunshine and man.
Biggest names.
The best talent. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Job that was.
Now, see here. I ain't never said no. I'm getting very annoyed about me saying doy. I ain't never said it. But they continue to say that I that they ought to pay me by the
.132 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday. Happy April Fool's Day. We didn't do any fooling today, did we?
No.
No. Well, we should have done it. We should have said, the Marlins have just gone out of business, or the Panthers have just moved to Memphis, or the Dolphins just closed the doors.
Or the Heat just won a game.
Or the Heat just won a game. I'm talking about something somebody might believe.
Oh, true. Good point.
There has to be a little bit of credibility. Boy, the sun is shining. It looks like I can't be in here. I should be out in my bathing suit on Lake Ontario. Let's see what the temperature is for Paul Castronova. Oh, it's back. It's only 11? I thought we were up to 12 before. It's only 52. But they're saying 14. It's 58 degrees today and sunshine. Hallelujah. And there's that horrible radar they show. And it's already past us. It's to the east. It's on the way to the Ottawa Valley, eh? Holy moly, man. It's a beauteous day. Don't you know how exciting it is when spring really... I'm not talking about on the calendar. But like when in reality it finally arrives.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough to make me want to hop into that Pontiac and just drive all the way to Niagara Falls and lose thousands. Don't go to Fallsview Casino, by the way.
All right, noted.
They got good food there, but boy, those machines, it's a tourist trap like Vegas. See, that's another thing. People say to me, well, don't you ever want to go back to Vegas? It's a tourist trap. And especially for somebody who likes the slots the way I do, if that's what I'm going to play there, like I always do, except for one time I think I'm going to lose my ass.
You like the what there?
The slots.
Me too.
The schlots, like the quarter schlots. Sluts. I like the sluts. 976 votes on the poll.
Told you.
What?
We're going to hit 1,000.
Told me what? You got 26 minutes, you need 24 votes. It's not a guarantee.
We got it.
It's not a given. It's not a done deal. And what have I told you? So many times you get like all cocky and everything, and like, oh, we got it, and then we fall short. Although it rarely happens.
Not today.
I'm kind of shocked that today we have to push so hard to get there. It's I don't know. There must be something going on.
We're going to do it.
Maybe we really have about 1,200 votes, but Eric's got his foot on the brake. He might be playing with us, you know. He might be playing his own April Fool, and then just about like 2 minutes till 2, he'll take his foot off the brake, and we'll have like 45,000 votes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, sure. A woman who said she had to forego cancer treatment because of botched surgery by a California doctor says she was never made aware that the doctor was being treated for alcoholism and had been convicted for driving under the influence. How do you like that? A boozer. Becky Anderson said she had no idea the doctor treating her was being treated for alcoholism. Becky received a breast reconstruction from Dr. Brian West, a California plastic surgeon, in September of 2000. Becky, who was suffering from breast cancer, said she had to forego cancer treatment while battling complications from West's surgery. Now she's dying of cancer. She had no idea when she let West treat her that he'd been convicted for driving under the influence in '87, had been arrested for a second DUI for which he was later convicted while on the way to treat her. Oh, I'm on the way to help you, honey. Uh-oh. Well, there's Barack with that bitch Oprah again. God. What is the story? Luckily, she's been keeping a relatively low profile from what I can see during this whole thing. Thank God. Anyway, she claims the doctor lied about the DUI, blaming a missed appointment with her on a car accident. She sued the doctor for negligence and malpractice. He never admitted fault, but settled with her for $250,000. AC360 investigate doctors in rehab. It's going to be on TV, the whole story. Weiss is an alcoholic, according to a Medical Board of California decision, and a member of the state's physician diversion program. The program keeps the doctor's identities private, so it allowed him to continue to treat patients, even operate on them, while he was secretly getting treatment for his addiction. Oh, the doctor's a little bit under the weather there. He'll be more than happy to open you up and see what he can find in there, you know? Like maybe if you got a bottle hidden inside your guts. You ever hear such a thing?
I'm sure it would happen.
Even if the doctor is drunk as a skunk, he can still perform surgery. Right. I wonder if he was the doctor to perform the surgery on Moe's hairpiece.
Could be.
I got to play that just for you.
That's awesome.
I'm sure you love that.
I laugh hysterically.
The doctor that performed the surgery on Jay Fiedler's thumb, isn't he the same doctor that performed the procedure on your toupee?
It's the doctor who performed the surgery. Let's think about that. What's his name? Klein?
Fiedler's doctor?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you use George Cole?
Poor Geldy, man.
I'm not sure where he went.
Doctor, isn't he?
I'm not sure where he went. Did he go to Holy Cross? I didn't read it. Not sure.
Well, bottom line is that the doctors can't tell how long Jay's going to be out.
No, you're not sure. Somewhere at least a month, could be up to 8 weeks. Somewhere in there.
Wally on the Wobble, you're on QAM.
Now, let me ask you this. Were you responsible for Jay Fiedler being on 8 times a week on the Mo Show? Did he make you book Jay Fiedler?
He booked him himself.
Did he really?
He would just tell me when Jay's coming on.
I guess the two of them were pretty tight, huh?
Yeah, you could say that.
Maybe they rubbed each other's mezuzahs.
Huh? Played with each other's menorahs?
They might. 986 on the poll. You need 14 votes, and you only have 23 minutes, mister. You better push it, baby.
We're going to do it.
The best days of my sex life are in the past, 524. In the future, hopefully, 239. In the present, like right now, and it's great, 156. I'm asexual, 41, eh? And they're over because I said I do, 26. Now, is that true, or is that just a myth? Well, you wouldn't know. Neither one of you are married.
Not yet.
I mean, you're both screwing around like that Josh Cordes, for crying out loud. There's a guy. It's always Halloween for him. He's always doing a lot of dipping and dunking. You know what I mean by that?
You sound a little jealous.
What?
You.
Yeah, that'll be the day. Like Buddy Holly said, that'll be the day. Boy, you are. I don't know what your story is today. Did you get any food in there today or not?
Yeah, we got some good Howies.
Oh, I heard, who gave it? Was that Zach or was that DA that gave them the plug this morning?
That was me.
Boy, you are shameless, you know?
I know.
Giving out the phone number, although that's the least we can do for them after the $80 billion worth of food they've been bringing in for, I don't know how many years now.
954-989-7707.
For a Howie's where the food is sensational. Man, they got the best damn bacon in the history of mankind, I'll tell you that.
I know that. I remember my Atkins days back here.
Yeah.
I used to get a thing of bacon. Remember you used
Are you allowed bacon on your diet that you're on now?
I used to steal your bacon, by the way, when you used to order it and you were here the few
Let
times.
me ask you again. Are you allowed bacon on this thing you're on now?
No, I'm not. I can't eat bacon now.
Oh, my God.
I miss it.
988. 12 votes to go, baby, and then Chris is going to get naked and jump up and down on the counter for Zach. And Zach's going to go run out, keep his best out.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Remain perched high on these long ladders, hoses in hand.
Well, a couple of years ago, I made some money I didn't pay taxes on.
The government's got plenty of money. They don't need your taxes.
Dramatically higher taxes.
It starts with
migraines, and I know why. The headaches always come around tax time. Keep that in mind. Gotta fill in the lines and get it in on time. All I know, tax forms are a pain to think, and filling them out, man, it really stinks. I'm doing all this so they can take the pay. Yes, take half away. It's so unreal, but a fact, you know. I'm in a matrix of pencils and numbers and notes. Lost half my receipts long ago. How I'll ever get through this, I just don't know. Makes me wanna cry, and even though I tried, it all fell apart right from the start. What it means to me is just misery. April 5th, you see. Tried so hard and didn't get far, but in the end, someone will fix this matter. Hate to call, 'cause after all, in the end, their wallet will be fatter.
Income tax time coming up.
The burden of taxes has shifted from the wealthy to the middle class.
That sucks.
Anyway, it's 1:45. You got 998. No jerks today at 2 o'clock. He's been fired.
April Fool.
No Mad Dog at 4. He's walked out.
April Fool.
998 on the pool. By the way, during the break, my phone rang in the during that bit.
Was anybody
I ran
good?
in the other room. What?
Anybody good?
Some chick.
Is she hot?
And she said, "Is this the newsroom at WQAM?"
And what'd you say?
I said, "No, it's not."
Was she looking for me?
Is this the newsroom at WQAM? With the Toronto area code? I don't think so. Oh, look at that. Oh, he saved the best. Take a look at how many votes we got now.
9,999,998.
I told you we got a million
We got
votes.
999,998. We need 2 more votes for 1 million.
No, you need 1 more now.
1 more vote for 1 million. Attaboy, Eric. See, all you got to do is just lay it out there.
I'm taking the credit for this one.
Why is that?
Because of me today, we got 1 million votes.
999,999 vote. Eric is dealing with it again. Attaboy, Eric.
Never. I'm sure those are all real votes.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? That'll be
1 million votes. We did
all right.
All right.
You shouldn't have announced it. You should give me a chance to play a little, like, drum roll. 1 million votes. Eat your heart out, Tootsie, Footsie, whatever your honey name is. Red-nosed reindeer. Kamyanko. A Broward judge ruled today that ex-Yankees Jim Leyritz won't have to take home sobriety tests anymore, just 2 months after being charged with driving drunk and fatally killing a Fort Lauderdale woman. As part of his pretrial release conditions by the state in January, Leyritz was ordered not to drink or get behind the wheel of a car until after his DUI manslaughter case was completed. But today, Judge Mark Gold ruled a random test under which Leyritz had to perform 3 to 5 times a day created a de facto house arrest situation for the former major leaguer. Mine hasn't flipped over yet to the million. Oh, there it is. 1,000,008.
All right.
Isn't that great? In the Sunshine State. Leyritz is currently applying for a hardship license that would allow him to drive to and from work in in emergency situations. Gold said if he's granted a hardship license, the home sobriety test would stop and an interlock system would be placed in his car that would test to make sure no booze was in his system. If he failed the test, the car wouldn't start. Authorities would be notified. On December 28th, Leyritz was out celebrating his 44th birthday when he ran a red light, crashed his SUV into the car driven by Frida Ann Veach, who was just leaving her job on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Tests later revealed both were drunk at the time of the accident around 3:20 in the morning. Both. How do you like that?
It's terrible.
Leyritz's blood alcohol content was 0.14 and 0.13 when tested about 3 and 4 hours after the crash. Veach had a blood alcohol level of 0.18. The legal floor limit is 0.08. Leyritz of Davie is charged with DUI manslaughter by impairment and DUI manslaughter by unlawful blood alcohol levels stemming from the crash. He could face a maximum of 15 years in prison and has already pleaded not guilty. Trial starts May 12. Veach's family filed a civil lawsuit against the former baseball star last week. At issue in the manslaughter and civil cases may be Veach's level of negligence in the crash because she was also driving drunk, according to the police. Bruce Barger, who was riding with Leyritz that night, said Leyritz may have taken his eyes off the road just before the crash happened. Oops. Now, it's pretty interesting because we have 1 million votes on here, but when you look at the totals on there, see that, Eric? Nice try. We got 1,011,000 votes, but if you add up the other ones, we got 1,011. You see what I'm saying?
Why are you trying to start problems?
We at least got 1,000.
We got 1 million votes.
Fool. We got 1,018,000 votes. April Fool, we're shutting the station down at 2 o'clock.
Hasta la vista.
The best days of my sex life are in the... Well, I'm not going to read the poll. I just got through reading it again. To goose them up over the 1,000. We couldn't have done it without Zach, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
You believe that, Chris?
Definitely.
No.
It's because of him we got the 1 million.
I'll tell you what, we never got 1 million before. Save that. Print that out.
All right.
Save it for George. Lawyers for the Greater New Light Missionary Baptist Church said yet last night the church has fired former state representative Ron Saylor Jr. as pastor. Well, we had something on this story yesterday. Lawyers also said they're hopeful they'll be able to recover the $250,000 Saylor obtained after secretly mortgaging the church early last month. There's a good chance they're going to get their money back, said Brian Lee, one of the two lawyers in the case. Lee would not elaborate. The lawyer spoke after a closed-door meeting with more than 50 members at the church, which is set on a hill overlooking Campbellton Road in southwestern Atlanta. Some members brought their whole families. One walked in carrying a Bible. Asked how he was feeling, Jimmy Evans, chairman of the board of deacons, said, "Not well, that's why I'm here." Lawyers instructed members not to speak with the media. Saylor, 33, a Democrat who represented sections of DeKalb and Rockdale counties, was caught in a federal sting last fall when he approached a man whom he believed was a drug dealer. The man was working for federal agents. Once Saylor was arrested on felony money laundering charges in December, he agreed to provide information about other officials involved in corruption in exchange for leniency in sentencing, and that investigation is ongoing. After he pleaded guilty to the felony charge March 18, Saylor resigned his legislative post that night. Church leaders suspended Saylor. And you know what they said when he walked in the door? I'll find it.
What'd they say?
I'll find it. Just give me my... Here's what they said.
Hey, Saylor!
Last week, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported Saylor had accepted $80,000 from a lobbyist in a land deal last year. A worried trustee checked property records from the church. Records showed that only days before he pleaded guilty in federal court, Saylor borrowed $250,000 using the church's buildings and 2.5-acre property as collateral. All right. Well, he needed some drug money, man. He needed to get a little something, you know?
Why not?
And when you're a little short on cash, like it would be like me if I wanted to go to Woodbine this afternoon and take about, $100,000 in cash. I'd have to find somewhere to locate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got that in your
maybe
pocket,
I'll just mortgage this building.
You don't have $100,000 in your pocket?
Or maybe I'll mortgage the radio station. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
We got 1,044,000 votes.
I told you.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's what we're
to look
shooting
at
for.
it.
That's what we're going to shoot for daily now. Forget 1,000. We're going for 1 million votes a day.
Yeah, that's right. You know something? We're going to show these people a thing or two. They want to play fast and loose with our emotions and like that. Well, we'll get 1,000 every day no matter what happens. And so now, you know what I can do?
What?
I can change the poll. Get rid of this this great survey. I didn't like the poll in the first place. Now, here's the second one. Regardless of your position on the issue, which of these is most likely to influence your vote for president? That's a good poll.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think?
Very good poll.
Not Israel. I'll put the war in Iraq. I'll put that. There's a whole bunch of choices on there. Drugs, Cuba, Israel, education, FCC stuff, and all that. So I guess I should save this poll here with 1,015,000 votes and save it for posterity, don't you?
I think you should frame it.
And then they'll all say, "Oh yeah, but it was on April Fool's Day, Neil. Nobody believes that." Yeah.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
We got to put the economy on the poll. Add the economy on the poll, Fatso.
Doing it.
WQAM. Thank you.
You say you want some prostitution. Well, you know,
about 30, man.
That became a big mistake. Say you're immune from prosecution because you know you're the head of New York State. Yes, you started out as Mr. Clean. Turns out that you're a crazy sex machine. And the it's time to go. Bye-bye. 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 You gotta give your resignation. Well, you know, it was gonna play that way. Recorded all your conversations. Now you know they're gonna make you pay. Because you spent money so you could get some tail. The new governor's a guy who must read Braille. And the it's time to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye-bye.
The biggest names, the best talent. And your home for Miami Dolphins football.
Oh, my God.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
But first I need a little Tahoe some this morning.